and hopefully we won't have any more technical difficulties. So right now I'm going into my iPad and I'm going to try to log in that way, and I marked it as take 2. So if you look for that one to click in. So hopefully we can get some people to come back. All right. There we go. Let me see here. So, oh gosh, home. I'm wondering if there it is. I see it. Take 2.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Currently, I think I need to raise my camera a little bit. It doesn't really show a whole heck of a lot, but I'm going to leave it for right this second. So, hi, Scott. Thank you.
Hi, Scott.
So, welcome, everybody. I don't think many are here yet, so we'll give them a couple of minutes before we start tying. Let's see. Hi, Kelly. Kelly's there with Scott.
She ran upstairs to turn the heater off. It's kind of loud. So.
Okay. Scotty's here.
Scotty.
We have Art Dyes, Melstar 83. Amanda has joined us. Okay. And let's see. I'm not sure. I think I'm still in the same view that I was a minute ago, and you really can't see the entire shirt, which is a bummer. I'm going to try to raise my camera up a little bit more and see if I can get more of my table in the view. So while we're giving people a minute to join in, I'm going to work on my camera angles here for a second and just see if I can get a better shot of what's going on. And keep in mind, guys, I have to what you guys see, so bear with me.
That's already getting better.
Okay, now my light is my light is in the way. Yeah, so let me back up the light as far as I can. I might have to pull my table forward. Because when I do these live feeds, I have to use my phone, and when I'm making videos and other stuff, I use my iPad. So it's like a whole different view. So, okay, maybe I need to move it this way a little bit. So I think your shirt looks great. And Bridget's shirt, I love the colors Bridget chose. I'm definitely going to use this color combo again for sure. Oh, I have a big dent in my table I don't see. Okay, now if I move it over this way a little bit, let's see, who else has joined? Beth is here. Parker Cat is here. Jen, hey, you guys, Boredom with Jen is here. Woohoo! I'm excited for all of you, but Jen usually doesn't get a chance to join in with us. Susie.
Hi, Jen.
Yeah. Okay. Susie S says hi from Minnesota. Okay, that really didn't make it that much better. I mean, you still see a lot of the carpet. I want you to see the table, not the floor. Okay. So we are doing a live video, and right now what we're showing is our shirts from last week's live video. For those of you that were able to join in, or maybe you saw the last live feed, Bridget was a special guest and she chose Geode. And this shirt that you see here on my table is the results of Bridget's work. And then the other shirt is Scotty and his wife Kelly, not Scotty, excuse me, Scott Walker and his wife Kelly Walker, their collaboration. And remind me what color you used, Scott?
The first night I used Strawberry Skies, and then on the second day, the Strawberry Skies over ice. And then the second day, I grabbed the wrong container and put Stormy Sky on the second side.
Oh.
But
let me look really close at it. Hey, you know what? I think it kind of made a pretty cool effect.
It sure did.
I don't know.
Up here where the the sinew's not showing as much. It's mottled right in through here, and it's pretty cool looking.
I'm still trying to working on getting like the shirt in the view. Oh gosh. I think I'm getting closer.
Yes, you're definitely getting
I
there.
have to pay attention to where the center of my table is because when we start tying, I got to focus my energy to that area, or else I'm over about a good 6 inches from what I'm normally used to tying, so I have to remember that. Um, okay, let's see. Has anybody? Greg is here. Vibrant Dye is here. Teresa. Okay. So, all right. So, welcome you guys. We're doing another live video. Right now, what you're seeing on the table is last week's live video results. So, this is the front of my shirt that Bridget did. Bridget added all of the dye to the front of the shirt. She did the tie for the whole entire shirt. And now I'm going to flip it over and show the back because this is where I came in because Bridget wasn't here. So I had to add the dye to the back of the shirt. And I tried my best to match up her colors. But I didn't know exactly where to place the dye. So I winged it. And overall, I think Bridget's shirt, she achieved really good results. And the colors that she chose are beautiful. They are right up my alley. And I'm definitely going to do this color combination again on something else. It looks beautiful, but she did a great job. And if you guys missed that live video, it is available to watch. When you go to my YouTube channel, up at the top, if you click the live button, you can find all of the live videos there. So, something to keep in mind if you're unavailable to attend and join in with us and tie up with us, it'll be available for later viewing. Okay, now
So,
Scott, tell us what you did with yours for
uh,
for the people that are just joining in.
what do you mean? What are you talking about?
No, I mean you flipped it over, right? So I mean I'm just
You're right,
saying
right.
new people are coming into the room, so you just explained your shirt like 5 minutes ago, but not everybody was here.
Oh, yeah, we did some geodes, and there are some things that I know that I need to work on with these, and that's definitely the width of uh, my geode itself, or the ring. I feel like it's awfully tight, so that was. Would that be my saturation issues?
So what you're referring to is your sinew lines, like your each little
Yes.
geode nub you placed very close together.
Yes.
Um, I think that did have a factor into your saturation due to the fact that geodes are tied so tightly. It was
Yeah.
hard for the dye to penetrate in. And then also dye over ice method with geodes. It's like a multiple step process because it looks pretty good on the outside, but sometimes you just have to like do the dye over ice a couple of times.
Yeah.
So what your tying method though, there's nothing wrong with it. It's actually, I think your tying method looks absolutely beautiful. If you tied it exactly the same way and then just worked on your saturation or did dye under ice next time, I think
Yeah.
you would have gorgeous results because
Now, if I
you're
did dye under ice and dye over ice, would it be too saturated? Like these colors probably wouldn't split a whole lot, would it? If I did.
I mean, I don't think you can ever like do too much, but for the split factor, like okay, so strawberry skies, we see all those great splits because of the dye over ice type method. Yeah, you might lose a little bit of that splitting factor, but I think it would still turn out absolutely beautiful. So you could definitely combine the methods, like do a few nubs, dye under ice, and have heavy saturation, and then do dye over ice as well. There is really no right or wrong way. Like it's tie dye.
Sure, sure, absolutely.
Um, I personally think your pattern, like your geode pattern, is on spot, especially for a very first time doing it,
Well, and
and with
some of it
and
was
with
Kelly too.
and with Kelly's help.
Yeah,
I mean, the the collaboration that the two of you did together, I think you've
I
achieved.
remember I did these. I thought I did these two corners, and you
So
can see how tightly close together they are. So, since that was the first time that I have done this to like a finished shirt, um, what I take away from it, and what I'm going to have to learn from is don't go so closely together, right?
well, I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm trying not to talk
It's
over.
kind of saying out loud and kind of asking you.
Well, right, right. So
You
I'm
make
trying
the
not to talk over top of you. And so the question that you're saying to me is like maybe you should space your sinew
yeah,
out more. And
absolutely.
what I'm trying to say back to you is not necessarily. I mean, I personally think your pattern and Kelly's pattern looks gorgeous. Like I think it's beautiful. Maybe a little bit spaced out so it's less sinew lines and more chance for dye.
Okay.
Because they
I
are
like
quite close together.
I love this look up here, and it almost has a three-dimensional look to it, and it almost makes me not want to pull my sinew as hard.
So remember, I'm on that 20-second delay. So when you say up
Right, right.
here,
Absolutely. And
so
all this.
you're on okay, I can see you now. So like you're saying
Uh-huh.
kind of up towards the upper left side of
Yes,
the
you see
shirt.
how
Okay.
the sinew is not pulled as tight, and
Yeah.
it almost looks flowy.
Yeah.
I love that look.
I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah, so that also, I mean, you're strong. And I was watching I had the luxury of watching both of you tie and you were pulling like super super tight. I
Yeah,
mean,
just before it snapped, pretty much.
yeah, you were using all of your strength. And yeah, you could lighten up a little bit. I mean, you want to pull it tight and then you want to pull it really tight, but it doesn't need to. I mean, you're trying to resist the dye, but you do want a little bit of like flow. Like for example, on Bridget's shirt here on the upper, I'm on the back still and I'm up at the upper right sleeve. Like this particular sinew line, the dye was able to creep up underneath and it has this really beautiful sort of navy blue color. And that's okay. It gives the shirt interest. So sinew line, and it
Yes.
really
Yeah.
does look lovely. So, um, so yeah, so I think next time for you, space them out a little bit, like
Okay.
do like a 1 inch nub, or well, we call them geodes or nubs, like one
Ye-
inch, and then
Right.
do like 3 centimeter ones, and then do like a half-inch one, and then another 1 inch, and then another one. Just really
Okay.
random,
Okay.
and it
And not pull as
and
hard.
not pull quite as tight. I mean, you pull it really tight, but not
Yeah.
like
It's about ready to.
not every ounce of muscle has to go
Right.
into it.
Right.
And then having that space, that little bit of space will give you chance for more dye saturation because so looking at your shirt right now, so let's talk about the bottom right corner.
Okay.
Um, I love the way that looks. To me, I think that is like awesome looking. But the fact that the geodes are so very close together, it's it's not that you're necessarily undersaturated, but we're seeing a lot of sinew lines, you know, because there wasn't a lot of room to have saturation because they're so close together. So I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I think
Kelly has a couple questions.
okay. I'd love to
Hi,
answer them.
Scotty asked, Bridget said she grabbed both front and back of the shirt when she was tying, but the pattern on the back doesn't look like the front.
Oh,
Did she
and yeah.
separate them?
So yeah, let me clarify this because I did watch the video back or some of it. Bridget did not grab the front and back together. Um, I can tell you right. I can look right now. I flipped it over. The center point. She grabbed up. I'm just going to demonstrate, and you can see she grabbed only the single layer of the top of the shirt, picked it straight up off the table, gave it a squeeze, and started wrapping. But she wraps from the bottom. So she grabbed it up, took it to about, here or so, and then started wrapping. So that was a confusion. I didn't pay attention, and people were asking and people were clarifying, and I was saying no, she picked up 2 layers. No, Bridget did not. I believe though, Scott, that you did both layers at the same time, front and back. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, it was both layers.
Yeah, so front and back together. So you can see the difference as well. I've now flipped my shirt back over to the front, Scott, if you want to flip yours back over.
Okay.
So typically when I do mine nowadays, I do both front and back together. It still gives a very random pattern. I don't know. I feel like I just get through the shirt quicker if I do front and back together. So okay, what was the other question? I hope I answered that correctly.
That was about it.
Oh, it was just the one question?
Yeah, pretty much, I think. So I am definitely going to do a redemption shirt on this. At first, I was like, "Oh no, man!" But I think I've learned some things up here don't that have a lot to do with the sinew pull, but I think I want to pull like pretty easy.
Yeah.
So that way I get some of this flow that almost look like waves. It
Yeah,
almost
it's
you're looking
beautiful.
above it. It almost looks like you're looking above it and waves are crashing in on like an island or something.
No, it's absolutely gorgeous. I love your shirt. I mean, really
So that
seriously.
could be kind of cool to do. Make your nub kind of pull real hard, and then and then don't pull your other ones around it near as hard, and space it out a little bit,
Sure.
and it would look like waves crashing in, coming in.
Well, 100%. Like I said, there's no like wrong or right way.
Hmm.
It's all about playing around and experimenting and trying different things, really, and seeing what effect comes out. So I mean, we have two geo ties and two completely different shirts, and to me they both look excellent. So I'm happy
Yeah.
with the results on both of them, and I think it was great to see two completely different styles from two totally different people. And
Can I see that back? Can I see your back
yep,
again?
yep.
The saturation on that is perfect.
Yeah. So, okay, let me talk about that for a minute, you guys. So the saturation, we did dye under ice on this shirt, whereas Scott did dye over ice. And I've done them both ways. I have one in the muck right now where I did dye under ice in the muck. And so, I'm curious to see how that one's going to turn out.
Oh, that's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, the
It's
colors.
it's electric looking.
Yeah, the
The big
colors Bridget
geode in
chose,
the
beautiful.
big geode in like the center.
Yeah.
Man, it is like on fire. It looks like
No,
it's straight electric.
it's a beautiful shirt, and it's even prettier in person. My light does not do these shirts justice. It really is a gorgeous color palette
Yeah.
for sure.
So I
So with the
definitely want to do a redemption shirt on this.
well, we will. I mean, we're just
Yeah.
getting started. We'll
Oh,
be time.
I mean, just yeah,
No,
yeah. Okay. Okay.
we'll
Cool.
do it soon. Because
Yeah.
I want to tie one up also. I'm excited to do
Yeah.
that.
Plus,
So
we have
so
our first redemption shirt too,
so
and
here's
I
the thing.
feel like those came out great.
Oh yeah, people haven't seen those. They don't.
No, no.
So Scott, so I wasn't quite happy with my first double fan fold, for obvious reasons. A lot of you saw it. First time, tying that way, and first time using that color, so I didn't really know what to expect. So I tied up another one, and here, let me grab it. I wanna, I wanna, I want to just finish talking up about the geode and the flipping. So the video for the tying is one, and then the next morning we flipped it, and you saw me add more dye, and I did the best that I could, matching up her colors, but she wasn't here, and I didn't know where she placed it, so I did my best. So I did add some emerald green over top of the plum, and it created this really kind of cool look. And so I just want to tell you guys that when you do flip your geodes, have fun with it. You can use different colors and achieve like really cool effects like Scott did. So you started with strawberry skies and accidentally finished with stormy skies, and there's some great color variation in this shirt. So with
Yeah.
geodes, just have fun with it. Like, this is the one type of shirt, well, next to the spiral, where you can kind of like go crazy and it still
Mhm.
turns out looking pretty cool.
No
So
doubt.
just keep that in mind. So just real quick, you guys, like I said, you guys can go back and look at the videos, but I'll just show you real quick since we're right here. So for those of you that may have missed it, this was the first shirt and how it turned out, which is a great, gorgeous double fan fold. It's beautiful. And the color, spicy plum, is absolutely beautiful. There's nothing wrong with this shirt at all, but it's not what we were trying to achieve. So I needed to practice. Okay. So you guys see how pretty
And
that looks.
this is your first one, you say?
Yeah, this is the
That
first
you're
one.
showing? Okay. Okay.
Okay. Scott and I are on a 20-second delay, so we can't see each other. So this is the first shirt, and there's Scott's first shirt. So this was the example of what he was teaching us. Scott taught us how to make that shirt. You used strawberry skies on that from
I
Happy
use
Cat Tie
strawberry
Dye.
skies. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's from Happy Cat Tie Dye.
Yeah.
And then I use Spicy Plum from Prochem. And then on my own, I mean, like what not on a live feed. And this hasn't been ironed yet, you guys. But, I knew that I could do better. And so I tried. So this is the attempt number 2 with the same color. And I achieved more of the look that I was hoping to achieve, so it looked more like Scott's work. So let's see. And I haven't
Nice.
ironed it, and it's all wrinkly. So this is just a really good example, you guys. Don't get down on yourself and don't give up. You know, practice, try it again. Learn from the first one, learn what you would do differently next time, and try it again. And see, I think it turned out pretty fantastic. I'm happy with it. And I love this
Yeah.
color. Oh my God, this color, you guys, is beautiful.
I
So
learned a lot from my first one, to be honest with you.
okay, what did you
But
just
my
put down?
my saturation. Remember how I was saying when we went live the second day, and you were like, you have like kind of a white spot right there. Are you going to fix it or touch
Yeah.
it up? And I was like, no, I think that'll just give us something to talk about, and
Yeah,
then something that I can redeem myself with.
I do remember
And
that.
I did it a lot. I got a lot better saturation compared to the first one.
I see it. I do. Yeah, I see the difference for sure. So having that little bit of a white space that you left, just just touching it up just a little bit made all the difference in the world, didn't it?
Yeah. So, it was a good way for us to kind of show what we can learn from our mistakes. You know what I
When
mean? And not that it was a mistake, because I didn't want to touch it up so that I knew how to fix it the next time. So,
exactly.
so I feel like I
100%.
achieved that for sure. My spot under the armpit, it looks great compared to the first one.
Well, the first one looks great, and this one looks even better. And so that's what I want everybody to take away from this is try and try again and learn what you would do differently and pay attention. If you have to, take notes. Take pictures of your work, like take pictures of your process. So when you go back, you can remember like, oh heck, how did I do that? Well, then you can look
Yeah,
back and see, oh, okay, that's what I did. It's very, very
I
helpful.
love. Look at that second shirt of yours. That's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, I've figured it out.
So, yeah. So you learn. It's great, man. I
Yeah,
love it.
so
Yeah,
that's
that we can do these workshops and actually learn from our own mistakes, or not mistakes, but you know what I mean.
well, right. There
Learn
is
from
no,
our previous shirt and
yeah,
how to better that is the best
100%.
way.
There is no right or wrong, but you know, a learning experience for each time. So I'm
Ye-
super pleased. Thank you, Scott, for sharing your knowledge on this and making me have a whole different technique because both shirts are beautiful. They're just
Yeah,
different. That's all. They're just different.
yeah.
Okay, well, I think everybody's got it. And then, if you guys have questions, please
I'll sell that for
ask.
500 bucks. I'll sell this for $500.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, no doubt. 500 going once. Going
That's
twice.
going twice.
All right.
All right.
So, all right.
What
So,
would you? So, do you want to do a diamond or do you want to do a heart?
well, okay. So, I was thinking about both. I'm trying to fix my camera so I'm off the carpet and showing more of
Okay.
the table. For me today, I think I would prefer to do a diamond because I do owe a little girl a green and purple heart, but I cannot find my children's sizes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can do a heart. I have to make a heart. I mean, are you okay with making a diamond fold today?
No, no, I'm totally cool with it.
Okay. I think I just made my camera worse here. I mean, I'll make whatever. Okay, here you guys. What Scott has never made a heart. Um, what do you guys want to see? I'll make whatever Scott wants to make or what you guys vote on. So if you want a heart, put a heart emoji. If you don't care, say whatever.
People are whatever. All people are gonna be like whatever.
Okay, and so what you
We
want
got
to
one for diamond.
One for diamond.
Hi, Scotty. So, you guys, yeah, so we're going to be tying up t shirts today. So, if you're going to be tying up with us, grab a t shirt, grab rubber bands, kite string, sinew, whatever you normally prefer to use, get it. It depends on what we make. So, diamond, hearts are my favorite to make. Diamond, diamond, heart, heart, diamond. Jen says, do a diamond. All right. I think we're going to do a diamond.
And do a
So,
diamond. Okay.
okay. So,
We'll have huh?
yep. Well, even for a heart, you need to center your shirt.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, we'd have to center them no matter what. So, we're going to
That's right.
do a diamond, you guys. I think the diamond won out. So, when I make my diamonds, I use rubber bands. Quick and easy. Easy peasy. But if you prefer kite string, if you prefer sinew, whatever, it all works out the way you want it. I'm
Okay.
going to be
I'll
I'm
use
going to be using rubber bands.
I'll use rubber bands too.
All right, so Scott, how did you prepare your shirt today? What are we working with?
I washed it in really hot water. Some people will actually, I've heard some of the people that are really in the know will like boil their stuff, but I wash it in the hottest hot water cycle I have in my washer, and use only detergent. And when I dry it with no fabric softener. when you wash it, don't put any liquid fabric softener in it either. Just
No.
detergent, and that's it. Then I soak my shirt in soda ash for at least 20 minutes. That one day I had mine soaking for a half hour. You had yours soaking for a month.
Yep.
So, as long as it's a half hour. And I had a shirt that was soaked in soda ash. Um, See, it was soaked in soda ash. I wrung it out or went through the spin cycle, spun the soda ash out of it, put it in a Walmart bag, just took it out. It had been in that Walmart bag for a year and it was still damp.
Did you say a year?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was in that bag for a year, still damp and no mildew. No mildew will grow on that soda ash.
wow. Now I didn't know that. That's why I was like, a year. I would have been scared for mildew. Wow.
No,
And it
it
was
came out.
still damp, huh? That's wild.
Yeah, it was still damp.
I have to say though, I don't particularly recommend that method, you guys. Like,
No, no.
I'm just saying, like, it worked out and it's totally cool, but try to take for me, take each project, like soak it, ring it, dye it, keep going type of a thing. Or, do like 3 or 4 shirts, whatever you can handle in an afternoon. Um, I'm just saying, like, because you don't want to risk it. Scott said, "Oh, it's great," but then you come out and find out that no, you have totally molded shirts. I would feel bad about that. And Scott, I'm just saying,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
no doubt. That's true. That's
that
true.
that's not the normal process, but awesome.
Um,
Okay, so I'll
should we
I'll tell.
have,
So, were you done
should we
explaining like
explain
your
how
your
we're
process?
yeah.
Okay, so
Um,
for my process, I pre-wash like 150 to 100 shirts, depending on however many I buy. I pre-wash them with Curelon, hot water cycle, and then I dry them in the dryer and I put them in a tote and pull them out as I needed. So this particular shirt was pre-washed and then I stuck it in the soda ash bucket this afternoon. So it soaked for a few hours and I spun it out in my Panda spin dryer and now it's barely damp. And this is a Gildan V-neck ladies cut extra large. And I'm smoothing out as many wrinkles as I can and getting it all laying out real smooth. And then we want to center our shirts by using the sleeve inside the other sleeve technique. And what that's going to do is it's going to create symmetry. So each side is like a mirror, and the front will have the same dye saturation, and the back will have the same dye saturation. That's the goal.
The shirt you're wearing right now, Stormy Sky.
the shirt I'm wearing right now is Stormy Sky. The shirt I'm wearing right now is made by Jose Ortiz. He made me a shirt. I love it.
Who? Jose
Jose Ortiz. Jose
Ortiz.
Ortiz. He's in
I
our
think
group.
I think his name is Jose Ortiz, but I could be wrong.
Jose Ortiz.
Yeah, I think that's how you say it. I could be wrong.
Jose Ortiz. Jose Ortiz.
Okay, so Scott's a step ahead of me. So I've smoothed out all my wrinkles.
I'll slow down.
No, keep going. Because there are a lot of people that know how to do this, and then there are people that have no idea what we're talking about. So since mine is a V-neck, it kind of helps me. I've already got the center point there. And then I eyeball using my washable marker where I want my other mark to be. And I just kind of look at the tag and I look here and I eyeball it best you can. And then I'm going to come down and I've got side seams, which makes it pretty easy. And I'm going to bring those up together using my washable marker. I'm going to mark out the front and the back and the center of the shirt. And then what I do is I kind of pick up those marks that I made and then pick it up. And now I see my side seam and I'm going to reach into the sleeve, grab up my other sleeve and pull it through. I'm going to find those underarm seams and line them up. So I'm going to work on that. I've got those lined up, and now I'm going to find the shoulder seams, and I'm also going to line those up. And this is probably like the hardest part of tie-dyeing is centering your
It is, man.
yeah.
For sure.
But it's the foundation for your tie-dye. So you really want to make sure and take your time. You know, if this looks real good, you know, you're setting yourself up for a good final result. Okay. So now that I've got all those seams lined up best I can, I'm going to work on finding those marks that I made down here. And I do a lot of picking up and shaking and snapping, and kind of like if you're doing laundry on the clothesline, and some of you don't even maybe have never heard of a clothesline. I don't know. It's where you hang your clothes outside to dry. So I just kind of pick it up and I snap it. And it kind of helps line everything up. Scott uses a tool. What tool is that you're using, Scott?
The rifle cleaning rod.
I don't have one of those. I don't have a rifle cleaning rod, but I do have a yardstick, and if I need to, I can do that. And I'll demonstrate for you. So here is my yardstick, and if I need to, like if in here, see it's not lining up real good, I can put my yardstick down inside there, fold it over. I mean, I'm not actually doing it, but I'm just showing you. You can put it in there, and it creates a nice straight edge. You can line everything up. Actually, that worked out pretty good. And then I just sort of like push it and slide it out. Okay. Scott's is looking really good. Mine's looking pretty messy still. Who's actually tying along with us today? Anybody got their shirt out and centering their shirt right now? I'm curious.
Scott, have you ever centered a long sleeve t-shirt?
Yes. You can still do sleeve inside a sleeve. It's not as hard as you think it is. At least I don't think it is.
It's the same exact process. So
Yes.
right here, I mean, you see, like I have a
stick your
sleeve.
hand up in there.
You just have more fabric. It's
Yeah.
the same exact process.
Just like, I'm sticking my hand in the short sleeve now and sticking my hand in and stretching it out, pulling towards me. You can still do that with your long sleeve. It just takes a minute. You have to be patient. But it's not as hard as you really.
It's not, your first couple of times, sure, it might be a little bit more challenging, but it's really not hard, and with practice it gets easier, and it's the same exact process. And I do have several videos where I show how to center a long sleeve shirt. You guys just go type in long sleeve and you'll see some of my long sleeve projects.
Yeah.
Okay. So ice dyeing is really forgiving, you guys. So you want to get it as perfect as you can. Now let me just mine's good. I'm happy with it. So so what we've just done is we put the front of the shirt and the back of the shirt together.
There it is.
And that's what's going to create that symmetry. And really, really what you're trying to do is make sure that your center line, like the front center of the shirt and the back of the shirt, are lined up as best you can together. And I'm really happy with that. I mean, there's a little bit of a bump in there, but if I try to mess with it too much, I can get the whole thing wonky and have to start all over. So I'm satisfied with that. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done tiling work, but I learned that you want to put all of like your cut edges into a corner. Same thing with tie-dye. If you're going to have a bit of a wonky side, you want it to fall on the side of your shirt, like down your underarm. Because it's hidden by our body and our arm. So, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I actually messed up my shirt. It was perfect, and now it's not. So, bear with me here. Okay. Okay. All right. Scott has made these before. You've made these, right?
Diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
All right. This is a really, really easy pattern to do. This is a great pattern for beginners. It's not hard to do. It doesn't take a lot of time to do. And it really does create a very beautiful end result, like dynamic.
It's gorgeous, man.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Did anybody answer? Is anybody? Yeah, Susie, I saw your work in the group. You did liquid. It's still batching, I believe. It was in bag, so I haven't seen your final result, but so far so good. I'm super happy that you jumped in because last week you hadn't tried dyeing yet, and now you have. So I'm proud of you. Good job.
No doubt. And man, there's been a lot of people in the group posting shirts
Yeah.
from the live stream. It's so cool to see, man.
No, I've seen a lot of really excellent shirts. Hey, you guys, can you do me a favor when you do share your live feed projects? Can you tag me, my name, so it'll send me a notification so I don't miss what you're doing? Um, I don't have a lot of time to spend on Facebook and stuff. So if you could just tag my name and Scott's name, it would make it easy because then we can, go in and see. And I plan to. It's my goal, anyways, is to make a post. Like maybe this month's work, and then everybody can put their pictures down below also.
Yeah.
So okay. So let's see. Okay. Oh, yes, Amanda. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, if you could just click the thumbs up button right now, like on the video, that just helps get the content out there. It tells YouTube that this is an enjoyable process and they will push it out there forward and it can reach more tie-dyers that way. So I would appreciate that. Also, if you turn your bell on, so like where it says subscribe, if you look over to the right, there's a little bell. And if you turn it and set it to all, and then go into your device and say, like notifications for YouTube, turn that on. When we're going live, it will tell you, and that way you don't miss out. Or when I create a new video, or if you are subscribed to Scott's brand new YouTube channel, when he posts something, it will alert your phone or your iPad or whatever you use, and you won't miss out. So subscribe, turn the bell to on or to all, and thumbs up everything, please. Okay, are you ready to move forward, Scott?
I sure am.
Okay, okay, here I want to point something out. You notice my sleeves are over to the left and Scott's are over to the right, and that is completely fine. Does not matter. But we both have the top of our shirt up because when we add our dye, we're going to be starting off adding it to the top of the shirt, which is going to get the most saturation. So
See, I'm a lefty in a right-hander's mind. I should be like you because I'm left-handed. So it only makes sense to draw your heart. I mean, I've never done this before, but I've seen it done. So it only makes sense to draw my heart on the left side of my shirt since I'm a left-handed person.
well, we're making a diamond today.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I was thinking. I forgot we were
Well, no,
doing
I
that.
mean, we were going to make a heart, but then people
Well,
voted,
I
and
need to
so
remember that next time I
it's
do
all
the
right.
center.
But we're going to make the next video we do will be a heart, and
That's right.
then we'll
Gotcha.
move
Gotcha.
forward. But
Thank
it's
you.
still the same process. Okay. So so it doesn't matter which way your sleeves are, and it really doesn't even matter if the back of your shirt is up. Like when I say the back of the shirt, I mean now I flipped it over. This is the back of my shirt and the front of my shirt is down on the table. It does not really matter. It's just when I tie dye, I try to always think about, what do people see when they look in the mirror? What do people see when you're walking down the street? They see the front of you. So if you're going to have any mistakes, you want to put them towards the back. Um, this shirt will be flipped over for dye application purposes, but I just like to do it this way. Front of the shirt up, and we start working. Now, the next step is to decide, where do you want the center of your pattern to be? And what I mean is the very focal point that's on your chest. I don't want to have it too high up, and I don't want to have it too low down. I think that, having your pattern sit right on top of your belly button, all it does is draw attention to our problem areas, right? So
That's right.
you want to have it a little bit above your belly button. And since mine is a V-neck, let's pretend that it's not a V-neck. Let's pretend it's a crew neck. So forget about that. So I like to come down about 2 to 3 to 4 inches below the underarm.
Okay.
So like, let's say here's our belly button. So we want to come up a little bit. And all I do is I just I eyeball it. Where do I want it to be? This is not scientific. And what I do is because I've been doing it for a while, I just pick it up straight up off the table, flop it back down.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for your to catch up because
Yep. And I'm gonna
I
I'm
want to
just
make sure I'm doing it right.
yep. And I'm gonna
Okay.
stop right
Grabs it right
there.
there. Picked it up. The back side was on the bottom.
Yep. So I pinched it. So yeah, put it on your thumbs on there, pick it straight up, and then just lay it back down with the back on
Good.
the bottom. Yep. Yep, just like that. Now I'm just going to quickly undo mine, and I'm going to show you another way. If you don't feel confident with doing that, if you want to measure out where your belly button should be, you could pick the bottom of your shirt up and bring it up to the top. Well, that's going to put your belly, it's going to put your center down a little bit too low. So I bring it up just a little bit. So now you see the bottom of the shirt is a little bit over the top. Okay. That's one way to decide where your center point should be. If you're not comfortable just picking it straight up off the table, you could take Scott's tool, the rifle cleaner tool, or your yardstick, and you could slide it up underneath. Decide where you want that to be, kind of twist it up, pick up the shirt with the yardstick, flop it back down, and just pull your yardstick out. So I mean, those are other ways to help make a fold. Now I don't quite like that. I put it down a little bit too low. You see how far down it? Really mark it out and show you. That's a little too low for my liking. I mean, it was okay, but I just want to come up just a smidge, just a real smidge here. Okay. Now, the next step is to make sure that your top and your bottom and your back folds are lined up perfectly again. So the center of your shirt, so work out all of your lines again. So re-smooth it out. Make sure this line that we just folded doesn't have a bunch of buckled fabric up underneath it. Everything's real smooth and everything's lined up. My lineup is on the right side, Scott's is on the left. Okay. So that looks really good. So now the next step from here is to take your washable marker. And this is not a necessary step, but it helps me kind of keep track of where my pleats are going to be. So I'm going to take my yardstick. Now, we're making a diamond. Okay, we've already established that. So here's our diamond, right? Can you guys see that? This is going to be our diamond shape. I'll just draw this on for visuals. Does not have to be perfect, or we're not doing any mathematical science here. Just do the best you can. This is our diamond. When we pleat, we're going to pleat this way. If I made a mistake and I drew my diamond on the underarm, that's just going to change your placement of the diamond, and what you'll end up with on the front is an X. No big deal. Okay. So I've drawn on my first line, and I like to space my lines out about every 4 inches. So I take my protractor and I set it on that line I just drew, and I come out 4 inches and I make a little mark. And then I bring it out and I make another mark on the 4 inches. And then I make a mark on my 4 inches. And for those of you that follow the channel, you know that I don't always necessarily follow these lines, but they're just a guide. They just help me out a little bit. Then I take my ruler, or in this case, my yardstick, and I draw out a line on those. Again, these are just a guideline, just to help me remember what I'm doing. Anybody have any questions so far about where we're at or what we're doing, or am I going too fast, or is this good tempo? I need to turn my heater off. Oops. So like, as you can see here, that line got a little bit wonky. It's too close. It's okay. Let's see here. So, Denise, it was up in the air between doing a heart or doing a diamond. The vote for diamond won out today. So we decided next week, or next week, basically, we'll do a heart instead. You can still do a heart, Denise. I mean, you know what you're doing.
Well, then just do a diamond next week.
Yep. Let's see. Where do you find the small detail bottle tops? I've been searching for them, but I can't find. So everything that I use for tie-dye is listed down below in the description box. Check that out and see if it helps you get to where you need to go. All right. So you ready to move on, Scott? You got your lines on there?
Sure do.
Okay. Now what I do, and what you're going to do, either your ruler or your tool, and this is not a necessary step, but I've made these quite a bit, and I have found that this helps me out getting my pleats started. I slide my yardstick up underneath the shirt, and I go the opposite direction, and this could be a little bit confusing. One thing I want you guys to learn is how to visualize the end project. So drawing these lines on, I hope you can see like the diamond pattern. Now imagine it opened up. You're going to have diamond.
Sure. Yep.
So you would think, okay, why am I sliding my ruler this direction? Well, because I'm going to create my first pleat, because we're going to pleat along this line. So I take my yardstick and I get it right on that corner point, and I bring it as, kind of as straight as I can, kind of like at the center point and up kind of over I got to start again. I need to move it. So I'm going to start at my corner point and go up like over the shoulder part of the shirt. And I flip it up. And now our pleats are going to be 1 inch because the yardstick is 1 inch. You can make your pleats any size you want, but I'm going for the 1 inch.
Oh, so we're not pleating on those lines then?
Yeah, we are. So what I've done, and I'll let it catch up so you can see.
Okay.
I start my pleats in the center of the shirt for the diamond pattern. I've just found that my diamond in the center looks more uniform, and if there's any weird pleats, it happens on the ends instead of in the dead center. So this is just how I do it. So I
Okay.
slide my yardstick up underneath. I flip it up, like flip it up off the table, or not flip it up, but just roll vertically up. And
Stand it
see,
up.
now you've got a 1 inch, you got your first pleat. It's 1 inches.
Okay.
And then I slide my yardstick out. Okay.
Nice. I like it.
Yep. And now we begin to pleat. So I'm going to do my next pleat. I'm just going to pleat up the shirt, and then I'll flip it around and I'll pleat the bottom. So just like we do normal, make the next pleat.
But
And
see,
it's really easy to follow those
it
lines.
seems like my lines are way off. So I need to pick it up to where my lines are straight?
Do it again. My lines are matching up perfectly. So try it again. Flatten it back out and do it again.
So I need to pick it up to where.
So flatten your shirt back out and try it again. I mean, I don't know. See, mine are lining up pretty good.
Mine don't.
So right in the, I'm looking. So right in the center point, roll it up.
See if I got
Your incline. Well, I mean,
Weird.
I don't know.
How was that working?
Yeah, I mean, I see it. Maybe move the position of your.
Can I? What? Oh, you're okay. You're.
Maybe change the angle of your. Maybe your the yardstick is too. Like change the angle a little bit, maybe. Like do it again, just how it was, but look,
Yeah,
maybe.
but I want to keep. But I do need to keep my point this centered, though.
So your center point, but maybe bring the ruler down over, like right over the shoulder seam instead of the bottom.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
So change the angle of the shirt a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's your center point. And yeah, we're at the change. Yeah, and there you go. That looks better.
Gotcha.
Is it working better now?
Yes. Yeah. I just have my.
Okay, I see it.
No,
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Yeah. And then now just pleat up your shirt. This, like I said, you guys, this is a really, really easy pattern with great results. And it's relatively quick and easy, in the sense that, it's not super like geometric or anything like that. Okay. And then I'm doing a V-neck, so I've got all this extra weird fabric. Now I'm gonna twist my shirt around, so that I'm gonna pleat up these other pleats now. And in theory, they should all be about 1 inch tall, because that's what the yardstick is.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't worry about those lines so much. I mean, they're just kind of a guide, just to kind of to tell me which direction. Now for mine, I secure them with rubber bands. So this is where I do pay attention, is my very center point. I want to make sure that my center point is pointed, and then those first pleats on each side of it, I tried my best to make them the same, like line up good, like, because that's the center and that's where our eyes are going to fall. Ugh. Yeah. Now mine all of a sudden isn't lining up. What have I done? Let's try this again.
Mine's coming out pretty darn good now. Thanks to the teach. Thanks, teach.
You are welcome. Oh, you know what it is for me? I was relying too much. I was relying too much on my lines and less on like how the fabric actually works.
I like this way. I've done it just a little different because I like to pleat, so I just kind of grab it and go. I do make one. I'd make one line that was up the middle instead of putting my ruler under it. I just made a line and
Yeah,
then just picked it up what I thought I wanted and then followed along. Just did the current pleat just like I did the last one.
yeah. You don't have to start in the middle.
I
You,
like it.
you,
That's
you, you absolutely
nice
don't.
and easy.
It's just how I've always done it, and it works. Now I'm going to secure mine by using rubber bands, and
I'll do the same.
I'm starting out with my tiny baby hair rubber bands.
Okay.
If you don't have tiny baby hair rubber bands, you can take a rubber band and like a smaller, bigger rubber band, and you can double it up in your fingers like this and put it on there.
I
If
had a friend send me some, and man, I love them so much. I don't know. Can I say her name?
you go for it, of course, Lori.
Laurie Burton Doan.
Yeah, Lori, of course,
Oh man,
absolutely.
she hooked me up with some tie-dye supplies. I'll never forget her for it.
You can say everybody's name in here. We're all
Yep.
tie-dye friends, of course. Okay, so I got my first one done, and now you see how, I don't know if you can see, but now each fold I had to start over. I'm kind of like eating my words because for whatever reason it wasn't working out. But now you see, like, now the next fold is folded over. They're the same height. That's what you want. And I'm going to slide my rubber band. And your rubber band placement doesn't really have anything to do with anything. Just
My head
you
this way.
want to secure it. I'm not following my rubber bands for die placement or anything like that. Okay, I'm trying to show it so you guys can see. So I've got my first 3 pleats like this, and now as you see, I'm kind of, it's like manta ray wings almost. I'm bringing that up. Oh, I need my, like, this is where boredomwithjen.com, her pleating tools come in super handy because I can push that down in there and fold it up, and I can push it down in there and then fold it up, and it makes a nice crisp pleat.
Jen, if you're still in here, thank you so much for the tools. For making the tools for us, because man, I use my pleating tools so friggin' much. And my sinew puller, I use with almost every shirt.
Yeah, I love, love, love. I'm addicted to the sinew pullers for sure. Okay, now as you can see, these flaps of fabric are getting tall. So now I need to fold them down over. And I'm just going to keep on securing with my baby hair rubber bands. It's really so easy. And now you can see my lines are all wonky, but it's okay. I had to kind of start over and things took a turn. And that's just it, you guys. That's how tie-dye goes. I'm more concerned about how the pleats are looking versus what my lines are doing at this moment because, well, that's just how it's working out. Like I said in the beginning, these are just kind of like a guideline to help me know which direction I'm supposed to be going. There are other folds where if you get off your lines, your whole pattern's going to be destroyed. This is not necessarily one of those. Okay. Now,
Just a second.
Yeah.
Jen says we are so glad y'all love them. So she's still here.
Awesome.
Yay! Jen is still here. All right. Now, I'm getting more fabric here. So see, I'm trying to keep those all nice and straight. So I'm going to take this fabric up. I like to always try to have my pleats end on a down fold, but with this pattern, it doesn't work out. So this particular fold is going to be kind of on the up pattern. I know that doesn't make sense and I'm not articulating myself well, but I don't even know.
I know what you mean.
I've got all this fabric here with the V-neck, which can be kind of challenging. So just do your best. So on this one again, it's going to kind of be on the up instead of on the down. And I'm going to take my rubber band and I'm going to secure it. Okay. Now on the next one, it's going to be on the down. Okay. And when I do my rubber bands, I open them up. I kind of open them like this. I put them flat on the table and I slide along the table. And then just drop them into place. Okay. That's already done. He beat me to it. Okay. I'm close. It's not going to take me much longer from here. Kelly, did anybody like say that they were dying with us? I wasn't sure if anybody answered.
There's a few people.
Awesome. That means we're going to be able to get to see their results. Okay, so what I'm struggling now with all that full, like I've got the 2 layers of extra collar stitch, you know, the hem of the collar. So it's kind of giving me the business right now, but I'm going to get through it. Just do the best you can. I'm looking at the bottom to make sure that my front and back are still lined up together, and they are. I'm going to fold it over, make a pleat, add a rubber band. So I've decided for this project, I'm going to let you guys choose what colors you want me to do. So while I'm finishing up tying, why don't you toss out some color combinations, keeping in mind that I use Dharma dyes, their regular dye list, and their special order dye list. So keep it Dharma dyes. Huh?
You're frozen up.
Oh, I did? Uh-oh. Oh, I bet you my phone died. I forgot to plug it in. Uh-oh.
Oh, I hate that. We're going to have to make a good checklist, huh?
Huh?
We learn as we go. I said we're going to have to make a good checklist, huh?
Yeah,
we learn as we go.
Plug in the phone, restart the phone.
Yep.
Gosh, let me see if I have to press any button on the screen or anything. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. There we go. There we go. I'm back.
Okay.
I hope.
You should start here in just a minute with our lag.
Okay. So did you guys hear me talk about picking my colors for my shirt? I'm going to let you guys choose what I dye today.
Okay. Now you are back. Okay. Sorry.
All I have got now is mom jeans.
Okay. All she has now is mom jeans.
Okay. I mean, sure. That's the second time for mom jeans. Who keeps saying that? Somebody loves the color mom jeans. Who's it? Lynette, you love mom jeans, huh? It is a pretty blue denim type color for sure. So, well, Lynette, what do you want me to? I'm not going to just do mom jeans. I'm going to do multiple colors. So, you guys pick out, like, give me a color palette, and I'll look and see.
Purple.
That's the last one too. These are people's favorite colors. Let's do.
Well, yeah. What colors are you doing for yours?
I was just going to kind of go along with you and see what people say, but it's kind of the same as last Imperial and mom jeans and.
I'm getting lime pop, electric green, mermaid dream. Shiitake. Somebody had to throw out shiitake.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, ha ha ha, y'all are funny. It's not happening. I'm not doing it.
Under Hobby Farm is the shiitake shout out.
Yes. Yeah, Teresa, it's not happening. No way, no how. Sorry, not doing it.
Scotty said orchid, purples and greens. coral pink hot hibiscus.
Ooh, that actually sounds really pretty. Does anybody have like 3 or 4 color combinations they want to throw out? Like a color palette versus just a favorite color?
Well, Art Dye said blues and greens or blues and purples. Mom Jean's lime pop, electric green, mermaid's dream. So that's the only one that's had like a palette.
That would be very pretty. You just did that though, kind of, Scott, with your double fan fold you posted with the lime pop and the blues.
Yeah.
You just did that. That wouldn't be very fun for you because you just made one.
Oh no, I'll do.
Or maybe it would be. I'm just saying, since you just did one like that. I don't know. I like to do different stuff, but okay. I'm almost done. I'm catching up here.
Now Denise F is using silver lining, robin's egg blue, and deep purple.
That should be extremely interesting for sure. I don't have a lot of luck ice dyeing with robin's egg. It kind of just vanishes on me.
Me too. I've been using glacier blue. It's just one step up, and
yeah,
it seems to stick a little better for me.
I do love glacier blue. It's a very pretty color. I think ice blue is also very pretty, but they're close. They're very similar. Okay. So, all right. Now I'm going to. You can rack dye this, or you can gutter dye it. A gutter ice dye for this one. So if you don't have a gutter, you can place it on your rack. Actually, I'm just going to leave that. I was going to put a rubber band on the very tip of it, but I think it's good just the way it is. Okay, so here's what my back looks like. And it's all right. And here's what the top looks like. And I guess what Scott and I have been calling the center these days is called the nub, otherwise known as the center point of your short. And for mine, I'm going to be putting the nub at the top of the incline. I want all of my colors to flow from the center out towards the sleeve and down. So just to clarify that, it's going to be at the top of the gutter. Are you going to gutter dye yours as well?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Okay. Have we decided on what colors? Has anybody? I was kind of feeling that coral. What it was, coral and red, and what was it? I don't even remember now. Midnight blue, imperial purple, ultraviolet, silver lining. Well, for me, I just did that with Bridget, basically minus the silver lining. So I kind of want to do something totally different for me. Amanda, those are beautiful colors. Oh, Lila's here. Hello, Lila. I'm just waiting for you to tell me that you want to come here and show us how to make some of your beautiful geodes. Okay, I have to run out to the garage real quick. Scott and Kelly, can you chat for a second? I've got to take 10 paces to the garage and get my gutter.
Sure, absolutely. Aunt Kelly, is there any questions at all by chance? Or
people are still just giving color shout outs.
Okay. I think I'm going to do a couple colors from Happy Cat Tie-Dye, maybe 3. And see if Amanda is watching. Amanda, are
Neville?
you? Yeah. No, not Neville. Amanda Angel. If she's watching, throw out 3 colors for me that you'd like. She gave them to me last night. But let's do.
Okay. So I just brought my gutter in from the garage. I did the hose wash, but didn't sanitize it. I like to use like disinfectant wipes. You guys know, you've seen me have them on my table for forever. I use these, and it just takes all that dye residue right off. So I should have been more prepared, but Sorry, I wasn't. Okay. Okay, let's see. So coral pink, hot hibiscus, and golden yellow. That would be pretty. I'll do that. I'll do it. Scott, do you have happy? I'm probably late to this. Scott, do you have Happy Cat new dyes? I don't.
That's what I was saying. I'm
Oh,
gonna go ahead and do some of her dyes tonight. I'm gonna do 3 of them.
okay.
And I think I'm gonna do. I know it's somewhat of a feminine fold. You know what I mean? Like with some of the bursts, but I think I'm gonna do kind of a fire. I'm gonna try to do like uh, I'm going to use Fireball, um, Ember, and throw just a little bit of black in it. So I'm going to do Fireball, Ember, and actually, Kelly got me Ice Storm, so I'm going to do Ice Storm, Fireball, and what did you say? And Ember.
That sounds pretty. I've never seen those
So I
colors
think that
before.
that will be kind of a little fire and ice kind of thing.
I think that'll be totally cool. I'm not familiar with those colors at all. The only color I know from her is Strawberry Skies. So, I
Yeah,
mean, that'll be
and
exciting to see
so
what.
let's showcase a little bit more of them, of different
Yeah,
colors,
sure, totally.
and and give the small businesses a little shout out here. Why not? So I'll do those. I'll do Ember, Fireball, and Ice Storm.
I love it. And I'm going with the what Karen recommended. She said coral pink, golden yellow, and hot hibiscus, which sounds totally awesome. And I'm almost feeling like I just want to add. I really kind of want to add violet red to it for some reason, but I don't know. What do you, or I mean, red violet. What do you guys think? Should I add red violet to it? I think that would just sort of be like kind of a tad bit purplish red and just be super pretty, but I don't know. I kind of want to do that. I love red violet. It's one of my favorite. If I can find it. If I can't find, or magenta galactica also might be super pretty.
No doubt.
Let's see. So, because okay, coral pink will have a tendency to lean kind of to the orange, right? Like an orangey, pinky, and then golden yellow will be yellow orange. Hot hibiscus is going to be like really super hot pink. Does it? Hot hibiscus doesn't split. And then magenta galactica could just be like a really fun. It also does not split. Just a fun additive to this color combo. But red violet is also so pretty. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing red violet. Okay, so now when I add my dye, I take my yardstick and I decide like how big is my shirt. And this one is measuring out about 19 inches. So then I kind of think about, okay, like how do I break that down into like even strips that I can repeat? Like, do I need to make them an inch wide, a half inch wide, so on and so forth. So let's just say 18 inches. So you split that into 4 ways. Help me with the math, you guys. Oh, I can't think right now. Let me see. Where's my pen? Okay, so my first like the center stripe, I don't know, I hope you guys can see. I'm gonna do like the center of it I'm going to do it at, I'm going to say like 1.5 inches. So I'm going to mark my first, like the center point out at 1.5 inches. And then, let's see, should I go every, I'm going to get my other little, where's my protractor? I just find it easier. Where did I put it? Oh, heck. Goodness, where did I put my protractor? Oh, there it is. It's hiding itself. Okay, so and I'm not leaving white space on this shirt. I'm going to be putting the colors right next to each other. So I think, let's see. This is the behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't see me struggle with, like deciding how far I should go. So if I go every 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4. Yeah, that works out. So I'm going to do 2-inch stripes of color. So this is going to be, and then I like to color coordinate. So I think what I'm going to do maybe is let's see. Maybe I'm going to start with the golden yellow in the center. So my pink pin's going to be my golden yellow. And then
Yes, I'm going for splits. Since I'm doing a nice dye, I'm going to go and try to get splits out of this.
well, yeah, you're using splitting colors. I'm not. My
Yes.
hot hibiscus and red violet. I mean, they don't split really. So I'm going for like a full effect dye. I want full saturation. No white is what I'm going for.
Okay.
Scott is actually actively looking to see splits, and if there's a little bit of white, that's okay because it shows off the color. So we're doing like 2 completely different styles here, kind of.
Now, how many colors are you using again? I'm sorry.
I decided to go with 4.
Oh,
but
you're going with 4. Okay.
but no, you use whatever you want because
Sure.
they're going to
Sure.
be totally. This is just going to show the variety of what you can achieve by mixing stuff around.
Yeah. Okay. So since I'm going with splits, trying to get splits, so she made a good point that that question wasn't that bad of a question, really, because since I'm going for splits, I want to try to keep white in between and let my dye flow, so that way I'm getting split. So for me, I don't need to get evenly matched collars, because since you're using 4 collars, you're trying to get evenly you know what I mean? You don't want,
Yeah. Right.
with me, I'm
So
just going alternating colors, so I can
yeah,
put it at any length I want. But I have to remember, when I open this up, if I put this at 1 inch and I open my shirt up, is it going to be more of a 2 inch? Doesn't it kind of double up? Like when you open, if I make my first mark, you made your first mark 1.5 inches.
I did because I was looking at my particular tip on it. What did I say I was making? Yeah, so I'm making an extra large shirt. So my shirt could be a completely different size than yours. So I was
Yes.
looking at my tip point, and I wanted to make sure that I was incorporating the whole tip and then at least some side pleat.
Gotcha.
So depending upon your size of shirt, I mean, you can go 1 inch, 3 inches. It really is just a matter of
Yeah,
preference.
especially since I'm just alternating 2 colors. So it's
Exactly.
not really going to, I mean, it's going to be more my starting point, what color I put.
Yeah,
And
you 100%. You don't have I don't even have to mark this out. And once I start adding
right,
dye, I might
right,
not even follow my marks. I'm
sure.
just doing it to try to give me somewhat of an idea because, I have a tendency to kind of get like, what am I doing?
Okay,
So
so I'll
yeah, you
do,
don't even have to mark out, and all of you, none of you have to mark it out. This is just how I'm doing mine.
No, I
Um,
like marking it out, to be honest with you. I like doing the same thing. I do the same thing all the time, like you're doing right now. I mark my stuff out. That way you keep your die placement right and
you know,
yeah.
it's a basic guideline, and that's, again, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say it because I say it all the time. It's tie dye. There's no right or wrong. It's all for fun, and just kind of go with it. Oh, did I? Wait a minute. Where'd my orange? See,
Okay.
I'm already for like messing up what I'm doing here.
So
And if
I
you
have
guys are curious, what I get the Crazy Art brand from Walmart, um, washable markers. Make sure they're washable markers. So what were you saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I did what you said. When I'm doing the tip there, I'm getting a little bit of the pleat also. So I have mine at about an inch
Yeah,
because
because what size shirt?
I'm using a small shirt.
Yeah, see, so
Yeah.
like Scott's shirt is so much tinier than mine.
Uh huh.
So, and depending upon what size you make, your measurements are going to be totally different, and you need to
Yeah.
adjust accordingly. Like if you're having a super tiny shirt, and if you make 2 inch dye space, you're only going to maybe have room to have 3 colors, which is also okay.
Uh huh.
Since, my shirt's a little bit larger. Oops, see, I just made that. See, I'm already off my marks, but that's all right. Okay, so I've got mine basically marked out. Um, what came after red? Orange. So my shirt is going to start with, did I miss a color? Let's see, orange, pink, purple, red, orange, pink, purple, red, orange. So my shirt starts and has a middle color, which actually that works out pretty good. That's normally how I do them. Now I have to decide what color do I want in the center, because that's okay. I'm having 3 colors of one color. This is where you got to decide what color do you primarily want your shirt to be. I started with golden yellow, but then I'm also thinking like golden yellow has a chance of getting real muddy, um, because it's the lightest color. So should I maybe consider going with the darker color and letting the lighter colors run into that? So now I'm starting to think like maybe I should start with red violet and reverse it. Go red violet. Let's see, red violet, coral pink, hot hibiscus, golden yellow. I think I might do that. See, this again, the fun of tie dye. You just
Yeah.
go with the flow. Whatever the shirt's telling you to do, just do it.
Yeah. But write it down too.
Well, write it down. No, I mean seriously, write it
Oh
down.
yeah.
Take photographs.
I I wish I remembered the guy that I was in a group and I saw a guy make a remark and it said the difference between chemistry and messing around is writing it down. And it's so true. I wish I remembered who said that, man. I would give him props, but I have no clue. But the
I mean,
difference between messing around and chemistry is writing it down. So if you don't write it down, you're just messing around. If you do it, then it's science. It's you're keeping track of what you're doing,
yeah.
and you can make your shirts better, like we did on our redemption shirts. I mean,
Well, I mean, 100%. Because in
yeah,
science, you can't just guess. It has to be
yeah,
technical.
yep,
So what I like to do, you guys, and this is just a tip, like take some type of basket, box, something, and I put all my dyes in the basket until I'm 100% finished with that project, and then I'll put them away. I try to remember to put them away. Sometimes I have bags all over the place, but this way, when it comes time to flip your shirt, all the dye is right there and ready to go. So that's just maybe a tip that could maybe possibly help you. Now I'm debating upon, do I do hot hibiscus in the center? See, the longer I sit here and think, the more I'm starting to change my mind. What do I want the primary color of this shirt to be? Do I want it to be a yellow orange shirt, or do I want it to be a hot pink shirt? I kind of feel like now I want it to be a hot pink shirt with accent colors. So I'm going to start with hot hibiscus, and then I'm going to go golden yellow, red violet, coral pink. Or, oh, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. If I keep thinking about it too long, I'm not going to do it. Okay. So now how I'm going to add my dye is I've got it in my gutter, and I've raised my gutter up on top of my container. And if it falls down in the gutter, I don't mind because I'm looking for 100% saturation. So it's a little bit different than what Scott's got going on.
Oh, okay. Well, see, now that makes sense. Are you going to flip it and do the other side?
Absolutely, because this is a very thick fold. So you're going to have, so if you don't flip it, you're going to have the top part of your shirt's going to have really nice saturation. And then the bottom half is going to be undersaturated because the dye is trying to penetrate through 4 layers of fabric.
And I have an example of that. You want me to show it?
Sure. Getting my eyes ready, you guys. I just went and checked my ice machine to make sure that my ice is rearing up and ready to go. Okay, so are there any questions? Let's see. You guys are just chatting amongst yourselves, and Denise says, "Are we looking?" Denise asked, "Are we looking for colors that split on this project?" And so what Scott and I both said is, I'm looking for colors. I'm not looking for white in this project. I want my project to be heavily saturated. Scott is looking for color split on his project because he's trying to swatch out Happy Cat dyes. Okay, so here's an example of what I was just talking about. If you do not flip your shirt, you could have some undersaturation issues. So Scott, why don't you explain what we're looking at?
I did this shirt on my own. I didn't. I didn't follow Steph's directions, and I didn't flip it. And you can tell because the top is nice and bright, and the bottom is less. It's muted. It's not like you said. It's not as saturated. All right. Now,
Yeah.
if you flip it over,
Yeah.
it's like perfect. It's both the top and the bottom are the same. So, um,
I'm waiting on that delay to see the back.
yeah. You'll see it here in just about any second here. Yep.
Now see your back. Your back
It's
has
perfect.
your back has great saturation. So that bottom front part of the portion was on the very bottom of your gutter or rack or whatever.
Okay, so
So
I have another question for you then. Okay.
I don't know if I can
Uh,
answer, but I'll
yeah,
try.
I think you can. Um, my back looks good, and then I'll let you get caught up here, and I'll flip it over and let you see the front again.
Yeah. So I mean,
Uh,
like the back is perfect. Like really,
yeah,
it is complete even saturation. So you guys, you notice what we're talking about by symmetry. So from left to right it looks the same, and from top to bottom it looks the same. And then on the front side, from left to right it looks the same because that's the sleeve inside the other sleeve centering technique. But then the saturation on the bottom is less than the top because the top of his shirt received all of the dye, and the bottom half of the shirt was on the very bottom against the rack or the gutter or whatever you're using.
that's why it's
I want
important
you
to
guys
watch
to
the whole
understand
video.
that.
Yeah, watch the whole video because I didn't, and I missed a step. So,
Okay, so what you were going to ask me a question. Well, I'm going to see if
okay,
I can
so
answer it.
now my question is, um, if I since we know we're going to flip it, should I just try to go through half of the shirt, or
Oh,
should I
okay.
just go ahead and apply? Basically, should I apply the same amount of dye on both sides, or do I go just regular strength on the front and then when we know we're going to flip it tomorrow, go kind of light on the second pass.
So I completely understand what you're asking. Like, so what he's asking, I'm repeating it back to make sure that I'm
Yeah, yeah,
understanding what
because
you're saying is you're
yeah,
asking like, should you only try to to saturate? I penetrate. Don't say that, you guys. It's not penetrate. You're saturating. Should he only saturate halfway down through the pleats, knowing he's purposely going to flip it and add more dye? I don't know, and I'm just gonna be honest. That's gonna be one of those things where with each color you want to trial and error because it completely makes sense to only go halfway through. But then part of me says, no, just get as much saturation as you possibly can so that it's fully saturated for sure. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you
And
you're
here's another one, and I didn't study my shirt, and didn't think about flipping it. So I'm already 2 shirts in. I haven't made this shirt yet right. So I'm hoping tonight that I get it right.
okay, so I think my advice would be for all of you, for
And
me, you, and
it's
for
the same.
everybody, do how you normally do it or how you think you should do it, and then learn if you should try it differently. So if your instinct is saying try to only do halfway saturation and then flip it and do halfway saturation, you will know for the next one, like, nope, that is not, you don't want to do half saturation, you want to go full steam, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't know, I would say for the learning aspect of it, for like the experiment, try half saturation because it's going to be beautiful no matter what. Like the shirt you are just displayed is gorgeous, right? So, I don't know. I mean, I've never used those colors before. So they might
They're
not saturate at all,
So
Like,
I actually did an X fold on this one and a
yep,
diamond on this one.
yep.
So
So that's the
I
X.
I made my I actually when I drew my line out, I did it the opposite way.
Yep.
Instead of
Remember
doing it
you
that way, I
remember
went
you
that
guys in
way
the
or vice
beginning?
versa.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. Please
No,
talk.
no, no. Don't be. Go ahead.
No, no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. Finish what you were saying, and then I'll say what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
Well, you know how we picked it up and flipped it. We had our shirt centered, and then we picked it up and flipped it and laid the back on the table, and then you draw your line, or we drew our lines. Then we stuck our yardstick underneath,
Mm-hmm.
picked it up.
Yeah.
I did it the opposite way.
Yeah. So
I made an X instead of a diamond.
100%. So you went from the underarm side to the center
Yeah.
on the one you're displaying. So
Right.
instead of going from the center point of just for visionary, instead of going from the belly button to over the shoulder, you went from the underarm up over to the collar, and it just reversed the pattern. Because if you were to fold the shirt in half, you have a diamond in your underarm.
Right.
See, there's the diamond. So, and that's what I was saying earlier. I want you guys to learn how to visually understand which, to see the end results.
Yeah.
Super easy. Both shirts are dynamic. I mean, look at how
When I
beautiful
could have
that
just
is.
asked, I could have, if I
Gorgeous.
mean, I know that there's people that I can
Oh,
reach out
gorgeous.
to, but if you can't, then ask on the group, and somebody will answer you because that's what I should have done. You
So
know,
beautiful. So beautiful. What
so
do you mean you
now
should
I
have?
know. I think tonight,
Oh, yeah, I see the undersaturation on that one
yeah,
too.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, you got to flip it. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to flip it. This
Okay.
shirt has to be flipped. For those of you that have seen my Christmas video, it was the very first diamond I ever made, and I didn't flip it. And
Yeah,
had Scott watched that video from start to finish, these last two shirts, he wouldn't have had any issues.
that's right. Absolutely. I believe
So
it.
this particular pattern really, if you want perfect symmetry, it has to be flipped, so I mean, Scott, I think you're going to have to flip it no matter what. I don't know what these colors are going to do. I mean, I don't know if they're
Yeah.
heavy saturators, light saturators. So I mean, to answer your question on how much dye you should use, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Uh,
I don't
I
until you.
think I'll I think I'll do what. Well,
Why don't you do?
I'm
Why
just
don't
going
you?
to try to do the same on both sides.
Well, I feel like for the experimentation aspect, I mean, if you don't mind,
Okay.
why don't you try to what you were talking about? Why don't you try to only half saturate the pleat? And so
Oh,
like,
okay.
go light and then flip it and go light and
Okay.
then we will know. Because if you
Yeah.
go heavy, we'll never know.
Right. And I'm going for splits. So sorry if I'm kind of muffled. I put my mask on, but
Oh no.
uh,
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
I feel with these splitting dies, which most of them are, but underneath ice, less is best.
Well, if you're looking for splits, less is
Yeah,
best.
which I am. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
light to medium and do that on both sides. And
And
I'll
then
just
and
do
and then we'll
I'll do my
know.
ice kind of the same too. And what I think I'll do is have Kelly go out and take a picture of my shirt. Not go out, but come out of YouTube and take a picture of my shirt. That way I can mimic it tomorrow and make sure I'm getting my color placements right. So I can do the exact same thing tomorrow.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right, exactly.
That's science, isn't it?
Well,
Okay, so
also the
Kelly has a question, okay?
okay, but I just want to point out the good thing about it is once we're done, you can also look all of you can look back at this video and watch it later if you have to. Um oh, just while we're on this note, Bo told me something that I didn't realize. So if you are late to joining this live feed and you want to catch it from the beginning, you can rewind and watch it from the beginning right now
Oh, wow.
live. I did
That's
not know that. But yes, I mean, yes, have Kelly definitely take a picture because it lasts longer.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just kidding. Okay. So what I'm doing, because I am trying to have a very heavily saturated shirt. I'm adding my dye like normal, heavy, like I'm coating my shirt very well. I am not looking for splits. I'm also using colors that are not splitting colors. Okay. So if they split, it's very minimal. So I don't want white in this shirt. So I'm adding a nice heavy coating and I'm adding them in uh 2-inch strips. And my first line is about an inch and a half. I might have gone a little bit over that, but okay. And my first color that I used was hot hibiscus. Okay. And then I'm not going to put my
Yeah.
spoon and everything away. I'm going to set it off to the side in case I want to adjust a little bit. Okay. And then Scott is doing something totally different. And that's fine too, depending upon, what look you're going for. So the next color I'm using is golden yellow, which also yellows, reds, and blues are not known to split much. Okay. So I do have a playlist on my channel, um, single color ice dyes, the swatch list, and you guys can go and look. It's not complete yet, it's a work in progress, but it's very helpful if you're going to be ordering dyes from Dharma Trading Company. You can kind of see what they look like before you buy. So if that helps
Yeah.
anybody. And then with mine, since I don't want white, I'm overlapping my colors just a little bit. So where that hot hibiscus ended, I'm just putting a tiny little amount over the top so they can kind of blend into one another, and hopefully not give me like a lot of white space. And it'll make a kind of a new color. And I'm using picnic spoons. You can use whatever you're comfortable with. And I also kind of use the tip of the spoon to sort of open the pleats up a little bit and try to help work that dye down in the pleats a little, for this particular type of application. Now, Scott probably doesn't do that because he's not trying for, hardcore saturation. So,
Okay, Steph, I have a question.
okay, yes.
Or not so much a question, but a little earlier on, I had a couple people back to back asking if you were going to do like a DNA pattern. Are you going to switch up your colors when you flip it and do
No.
them? Okay.
No, this is not going to be a DNA pattern. This is going to be flipped purely for saturation issues. So I will, on this project, repeat the pattern. But you could. I mean, you definitely could flip it over and move each color over one spot. Which actually, you know what? One of these days we'll have to do that. That would make a fun video. I haven't done that for this pattern. You can do that. You could even pick completely different colors if you wanted to. It would just, it'd give like a completely sort of different vibe to it. So, I mean, I hope that answers the question. No, I'm not doing DNA pattern on this shirt. Where I'm going to flip it to make sure the saturation is there. And as you can see, I'm going pretty heavy. Again, I don't want that white. So, and I guess while we're doing this, I have an announcement, and basically like shout out and thank you, to everybody. You guys support the channel, and I keep, making this happen, because you guys support the channel so much. So I want to give a shout out to, this first name I'm going to have a hard time with, because in the United States, the way it's spelled, we say the word colonel, like in the military. So I'm not sure if the first name is Colonel or if it's Colonel Vetiges. I want to say thank you very much for becoming a channel member. Your proceeds are going to go back into the channel so I can continue to, keep bringing content. And this goes for all of you guys. Lynn Kennedy, Scott W., Cindy Dickey, Tattoo Angel 60 Doan, which we know as Lori Doan.
Yeah.
Way Down Yonder Hobby Farm, which we know as Teresa, and Catherine Parker. And my question is for Catherine, are you Parker Cat? So, thank you guys for becoming members of the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, all of the proceeds will go back into, this channel. And I use it to buy dye or t-shirts or camera equipment or whatever is needed so that I'm able to keep doing this. And so thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you guys a lot. So keep tuning in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was very exciting. That came after our very first live feed. And I forgot, like I wrote it all down, and then, I'm so excited that I forgot to, do a shout out. And then we did it again and I forgot again. So, I mean, that was such an awesome, amazing shout out, or turnout for, getting, new people. And then for all of you that are already channel members also, I mean, thank you so very much. I appreciate the fact that you guys are still sticking with it. And if you want to become a channel member, down there somewhere, and like where all the thumbs ups and all that, there's a button you click. I don't exactly know, but it's right there. If you click it, it explains how to do it. I'm not really.
Wanda Cruz.
Okay. Well, Wanda, what a totally like different. How do you get Parker Cat out of Wanda Cruz? That's like totally I just saw that Catherine Parker, and I thought, oh, that makes sense. Hi, Wanda. And Wanda, thank you for always tuning in. I appreciate it so much. So I did my golden yellow stripe or strip of dye larger because, as you guys know, the yellows have a tendency to vanish, especially with me for some reason. So I made that stripe a little bit bigger so that it can kind of get eaten up by the darker colors. Just something to keep in mind. And right now I'm using, what color am I doing? Red violet, I believe. Yeah, red violet. Okay, tell me again what colors you're using, Scott, because
I'm using Happy Cat tie dye, and Happy Cat tie dye dye, and I'm using Fireball and Ice Storm. So I'm going to try to do like a little fire and ice type thing.
yeah, that's going to be super cool.
See if it comes out. I don't know, but
Well,
I
that's
have
the
a
fun
feeling
of it.
I have a feeling it's going to come out pretty cool.
I think it's going to be pretty
I
awesome.
think either color will swallow each other up. You know how some do, since they're kind of.
Yeah,
So it
exactly.
should. I wouldn't think.
Like I was just saying about.
And I'm not going to incline it super steep. So hopefully, if you incline, I've learned that the more you incline, the more mud you get.
Yeah, like the color flows for sure.
And it's not that I learned; I was actually taught that, and I wish I knew her name too. And she came through on a message and told me that.
Yeah, so right, the less incline you have, the better the
She
chance of
wanted
not.
me to do a shirt for her, and she said she loved my incline spirals, but asked me not to incline it as much because she wouldn't have as much browns because she was wanting orange, and she was wanting colors that could possibly make it turn brown. So
Oh,
she asked me not to incline it as much, like do half of my incline, and man, it worked.
well,
It
that
really,
was
it
good.
really did. So it was like an experiment that I got paid to do.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it
so
was
you've
pretty
already
cool,
made the
really.
shirt and sold the
Yeah,
shirt, and the
it
shirt's
came out. It came out great. So
long
I learned a
long
valuable
gone.
lesson, and I told her I'd give her a shout out as often as I could. But it's been a while since I even thought about it.
Yeah. Well, you
But
take custom orders too, right? I mean,
yeah,
meaning
yeah,
custom order, meaning like if you want to reach out to Rad Dyes, which is Scott and Kelly Walker, and he if you say you want this color, that color, he will try to accommodate you. Whereas I'm the complete opposite. I shut down completely. I can't work under that type of pressure. So
I
I mean
seem to
that's
work better under that pressure.
yeah.
So like if you see this shirt tonight and want it, just reach out to me and I'll make it for you. I mean,
Yeah.
you only get better. You know what I mean? So that's what I tell people. If you see something you like, shout out to me and I could make it for you because there's a good chance it could turn out better.
Yeah.
Because I've learned from,
From
just
that
like our,
shirt.
our redemption shirts. I feel like my redemption shirt is 10 times better than our first shirt, which I'm glad because that's what this whole workshop is about, to kind of
Yeah.
teach people to, look at your shirts and try to learn from your mistakes. And
Yeah.
then you
What
can make
what
some.
worked? What didn't work? What can I if I
Yeah,
need
and
what can I change
do
next time?
experimentations,
Yeah.
experiment with your ice and experiment with your dye and, see what works good for you because what works good for you might not work good for me. You could have a different water. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of variations.
Oh yeah, the variables are is it's too difficult. I can make the same exact color palette, same fold, same everything, and have it look completely different from time to time. Um, and a lot of it has to do with how heavy-handed was I that day, or
Right, right.
how much ice did I use, how much dye did I use, how hot was it, how cold was it. It's impossible to make things 100% the same, but you can, kind of get pretty close, especially if it's one of your specialty type folds, if it's something you do on the regular. I'm putting on my gloves now because I'm gonna get ready to add my ice here. I feel pretty good with the dye placement at this time. Um, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna actually leave it alone. I was gonna try to pull it up a little bit because I feel like it's down at the bottom, but it'll be fine. Now, what I like to do is I like to create some type of a dam down at the bottom to catch the ice, so I don't have to fill the entire gutter up. Um, because the ice needs to stay on the shirt instead of want to slide down. So what I use, and I learned this from Greg over at Goyo's Garden and Tie-Dye. Lots of you know Greg already, but if you don't, please head over to his channel and subscribe. He's a dear, dear friend of ours and a real sweetheart of a guy. He makes tie-dye and does other things on his channel. And he's almost to 1,000 subscribers, you guys. And that in the YouTube world is a huge accomplishment. So if you could, please head over. He's going to be doing a tapestry giveaway. And I'm considering also giving away a tapestry.
Hey, I'll give one away too. I just got a bunch of sheets today that I can make tapestries with.
Well, you know what? People would probably want one of your shirts.
That would be fun.
So yeah, I mean, like he's like 20 or 30 away. So if you guys haven't subscribed already, like I said, when this is over with, Goyo's Garden and Tie-Dye, just head over, click subscribe. It takes 2 seconds of your time. Maybe watch his most recent video, give it a thumbs up, and help our friend out. And then the sooner we get there, the sooner free stuff is going to be given away. So that'll be cool, right? I still have to make the tapestry, but we can work it out. Yeah. Karen, yeah. Greg is great. Oh, hi, Greg. Yeah. We love you. You know that. You and Tracy are the best. Tracy is Greg's wife. Okay. So I'm now done with my dye placement, and it looks like Scott is too. And I see Kelly taking a picture so he can remember what he needs to do tomorrow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place some soda ash on my shirt. And Scott had mentioned that he's wearing his protective mask. Always wear a mask while working with dye and soda ash. Oh, where did my mask go? And because I've been, I'm talking a whole lot, I did not put my mask on. That is my personal choice, and I want you guys, though, to wear your protective gear. But I have to wear it when I work with soda ash because soda ash will give me nosebleeds. I know. I remember when Greg had 400. I actually remember when Greg had 20 subscribers. I've been nice. I've been with Greg for a long time now. When Greg was only doing slideshows of his tie-dyes, but he was talking about other stuff. And that's how I found him, because he watches my channel. And so I peeked on his channel, and I saw things that I could relate to with him. And now here he is, from 20 subscribers up to almost 1,000. Like I said, it's a massive milestone in the YouTube world. So I'm so happy and proud of you, Greg. You're doing amazing. Now, I got this stuff from Prochem. It's Glauber salt, and I've never tried it before. I think it's meant to be mixed in with liquid dye, but it's supposed to make your dyes brighter. You've used it though, right, Scott? Glauber salt?
I've never used it.
But have you, never Glauber salt, but have you used salt in your projects though before?
Yes, I use iodized, non-iodized salt.
Okay, and do you just sprinkle it on top of your soda ash, or what do you do?
Okay, so some of my dyes come in differently. Like some seem kind of chalky and some seem kind of sandy. Like some dye pours out easier than others. Okay, for example, this the blue in my dye that I'm using was kind of grainy.
Yeah.
This firestorm or fireball was kind of chalky. So I'll use the non-iodized salt, put some non-iodized salt in with my dye and shake it up, and it
Mhm.
kind of gives it that more grainy. It takes the chalkiness away.
Yeah, so for the really thick, dense powders that don't want to spread easily, you put it in
Yeah,
there. Oh, and so the
yeah.
question is, what is the purpose of salt? Well, I've never ever used it before, but my understanding is salt helps the dye be more vibrant. Why? I mean, I don't know. You today right now I can't. Do you know why it makes it more vibrant? Do you know,
No,
Scott?
I have
Okay.
no idea.
So until
I've
I can
been
answer
told
your
that I've been told that it's kind of chemistry
yeah, that's
but it's
yeah.
more with like turquoise. Like turquoise begs for it.
And I don't I mean I don't know why. Well, turquoise takes the longest to bond with the fabric for full
Mhm.
color vibrancy. So I
So
don't
the
know if
salt
it
must do something.
speeds
Maybe the salt does something to the fabric and
yeah,
makes it
speeds up the
that.
process or something. So
Yeah.
I mean until I have an actual proper answer for you, I would say Google Glauber salt or go on to Dharma's website and look up what do they say about it. I got it because I wanted to try it, but at the same time, I'm scared to try it because what if it messes up? Maybe I'll wait and try it on a spiral and do like one without, one with, one without, and see if I
Yeah.
notice a difference. Because I'm scared.
Someone.
I'm scared I'm going to mess this project up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just curious. Let's see.
Someone asked me how much of a space I had between my dye, and
Okay.
it's about an inch and a quarter probably.
Okay. Yeah. And then
I did an experiment with 3 inches, and it met up with the next dye no problem actually. But that was with a fan fold, which is singled shirt. It's not the shirt's not centered, so it's not doubled over. So it's just a single layered shirt.
you're talking about
Uh,
your distance in between your die.
yes, yeah, the
Yeah.
distance of my run, I left a 3 inch gap
Okay.
in
Well,
between
so
like
but
this dye.
on
So
this
it
shirt,
was basically, yeah,
you did what about an inch and a half, and then what's your
yeah.
space?
I did about an inch and a half of dye and an inch of space, and then an inch
Okay.
and a half of dye and an
Okay.
inch of space. So
Yeah.
it's
So for
almost
this
equal, but
project,
not quite.
yeah. Well, I mean, just to keep it simple, we'll just talk about the spacing on this
Yeah.
shirt because it can get super confusing. And then Melstar, so yeah, so Scott, she's asking again. So you put the salt in with your dye, and I shouldn't have brought it up because we're not doing it. I was curious about it, but she's
Th-
asking. The question is, so you put it in with your dye before you use the salt, or it goes on with the soda ash? Question mark. And I'm just going to say this real quick while I step away to get my ice. I have no idea. I've never used salt before. Scott, you want to quickly just
I
explain what you
talked.
just said?
I don't want to like throw her under the bus or anything, but I talked to Amanda, the woman that makes Happy Cat tie dye. Was talking with her last night about some of the salt, and she said that with her chalkiness, I was talking about the chalkiness of some of this dye, and she said sometimes she'll mix some black in with it or Glauber salt. And I mentioned non-iodized salt, and she said that's fine, and even soda ash to a point. I always was kind of afraid of adding too much soda ash because then you're talking like hot water irrigation ratios. I'm afraid I'm going to mute my dye down if I add too much soda ash. But he said even table salt would work. So I don't know. We'll have to have her on as a guest, and she can talk more about dyes and Glauber salt, and maybe she can help us out if that's what she would want to do. You know what I mean? So,
Who?
And just to clarify,
Amanda, just to kind of show and talk about glauber salt and how it works.
You're talking
And,
about Happy Cat Tie-Dye, Amanda?
yeah. Because I was talking with her last night about glauber salt.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, sure. If she wanted to come on, I mean, whoever wants to come on as a guest and you got something that you want to share, I mean, I'd love you. Like Lila, I'm not kidding. I want you to come on for sure.
Yes.
All right. So, but you know, and
like
keep,
fine dye like this. I know
yeah,
I don't know if you can see it yet, but he likes the really fine stuff, and some of the dyes sticky and chalky. So that's kind of what he's talking about.
Yeah.
yeah, and I can see that, and I completely agree with it. I mean, again, we're gonna have to Google it, and maybe next time when we come, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'll have a better answer for you.
Yeah. It's kind of like sands in an hourglass. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
sand's going to go right through it. But if you throw some chalk or some talcum powder in there, it's not going to flow through that. You know what I mean? So it's
So
kind of the same thing.
So Karen says it's a leveling agent to help pastels bind to the fabric. So what I originally started with is I'm almost sure that salt is used more in liquid dye applications to help, because I think long before ice dyeing was even a thing, people were using it in their liquid dyeing and other, probably like with other fabrics, like different types of dye with silk and, this and that. We're working with procion dye, 100% cotton, and necessary. I've been tie dyeing for a long time now and I've never ever ever used it and have never had a need for it. I just saw it and thought, well, I'm going to give it a try. So, I'm going to try to find out more information. Maybe we can touch on it tomorrow and then sometime maybe do like a side by side comparison and see if we even notice a difference in ice dyeing. Okay, but so moving on, I'm ready to place my ice, and I'm going to be using nugget ice for my Frigidaire nugget ice machine maker, and I forgot my scoop. So, Scott, what are you doing?
I'm using store bought ice like you would buy at Kroger or whatever, like at the grocery store. That's how I get my ice.
Okay, and then you bash it up into a really fine powder. How do you get
Yeah,
it all bashed up, and what do you
uh,
do?
uh,
I
it
heard you
comes in.
doing it.
It comes in. Just like if you were going to put ice in your cooler, it's the same thing. And then I'll take bags that I've saved from before and double and triple it, and I'll pulverize it because this ice isn't real cold. It's actually kind of wet.
Yeah, mine is too. Just the way the ice machine is, it's not like right now.
And
It's not super
then
sticky.
tomorrow it turns into a big block of ice water. So I have to uh, double, triple bag it and just pulverize it off the ground.
And when you say pulverize it because you're bashing it on the ground, do you take a hammer to it or anything
No, I
like
just
that?
pick it up and body slam that thing
Yeah.
pretty much. You know?
That's what I do too. Like when I'm using my big ice machine ice, I or the commercial one, I just pick up the bag and bash it on the ground because it'll freeze together. Um, but I like to use my nugget ice as often as possible. But what I've been finding out because working with Scott is that our ice is a lot differently, and I usually need 2 rounds of ice for my projects, where Scott can usually get away with just 1 round of ice. So, before I go to bed tonight, this ice will be melted, and I'm gonna more than likely add a second layer of ice to this because I'll probably have a lot of undissolved dye. So, something to look for. And also right now what I'm doing is I'm adding my ice to the project while the project is flat because I don't want the dye to be rolling downhill. And when I get up here closer to the top, and I start at the bottom, and then as I get up here to the top, I'm going to create my incline. So I don't want a steep incline. So I'm using this cottage cheese container. I'm going to place it down at the bottom of the incline. I'm going to gently and carefully lower my project down so I don't make a big mess of it. This is a very, very slight incline. And then now I'm just gonna add ice to the rest of my project, and that's it. Okay. Now Scott, let's watch and see how Scott does his.
I've learned a couple things in the past couple days because I just chuck my ice on there, and a lot of times I'm afraid of displacing my dye in places I don't want it. So what I really need to do is get some containers, longer containers, and freeze some water, and so that way I can just the project. But here in the last few days, I've kind of noticed if I pour my ice quick and hit the back of the gutter,
Yeah.
um, it doesn't displace the ice as much. I pour it real fast, and what I really need to do is record it and watch it in slow mo and see how much uh, ice is hitting that and bouncing around. I just for myself, I just want to see that.
Right.
What I really should do is make long ice cubes. That way, I can sit it on there. Then I can pour ice around it, and I'm not going to displace any dye.
Oh, for sure.
But this is how I've
No.
been doing it the
Okay.
last few days.
Here, I'm okay.
I try to hit the back of the gutter, and this is on my table. It's a little different because I've been doing it on my floor, but I try to pour it fast, and it doesn't look like hardly any dye was displaced from that. Now, like I said, I'd like to watch it in slow mo and see what.
Well, yeah. So I'm on the 20-second delay. So right now,
yeah, you'll see it here in a second.
Yeah. Yep.
My head was kind of in the way right there.
Well, it's okay. Yep. Here it goes. Yep.
So I poured it fast, and but like I said, I need to make some long ice cubes.
Yeah.
I need to take pictures that way if I think about it, because somebody mentioned it, and they had it in containers, yogurt containers. It might have been Patricia Otten.
Yeah. Well,
yogurt containers at the bottom, and then she can take the ice cubes out and set it on her shirt.
So lots of people have been doing that. Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab, Angie, which most of you know who that is. I noticed during the summer when she was doing all of her incline or her gravity dyes, she was freezing up bowls, like big bowls of ice, and setting them on there. And I'm obsessed with ice. Like I think about ice like all the time. Like looking at ice machines and different types of ice cube trays, and ultimately at the end results, I haven't noticed so much of a difference in like the final result, but I'm sure it does. So one of these days we're going to have to do an ice cube experiment, do the same exact thing, and then see what different ice achieves. But like I just mentioned, for what I've just done with my Frigidaire, I am going to almost certainly have to do a second layer of ice where Scott is not going to have to. He's going to set it, and then in the morning, he's still going to have ice on his project, and I've already had 2 rounds of ice. So, different ice has done different things. So,
and my gutter is 5 inches tall. I think you said last week yours was 2.5 inches.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's another thing. He has way more ice on his project that has to melt too, because his gutter's bigger than mine. So I've got the gutter. The gutter came from Lowe's. It was a 9-foot, 10-foot strip that I used a Sawzall to cut it down into manageable size strips, and I have small, medium, and long for different size projects. And the gutter is about let's say 2.5 inches tall. And then my tote is, this particular tote is about 5.25 inch tall, and I've placed a yogurt container at the bottom, which is, let's say, about 3 inches tall, to elevate the incline. So it's just a very slight incline. So if that helps anybody, with their project. Now, you don't have to raise it up. If you want a steep flow, just set it all the way down in your gutter and let it do its thing. For this one, I just want the colors to blend in a little bit, but not not run the whole length of the shirt. That's the hope anyways. Okay. And now from here, I'm going to take my project indoors. That's where I batch. I work out on a sun porch. It gets super cold at night. So I'm going to take it indoors and I'm going to batch it for ultimately for 48 hours at 70 degrees or higher for 48 hours. You can pull it after 24 hours after the ice melts. How about you? What are your plans? Your batching plans, Scott?
I'm going to flip it tomorrow and do the exact same thing I just did, because we're trying to do that experiment where I do, I know I'm going to go through over half, especially with the amount of dye and the ice I put on it. But I'm still just going to try to do the exact same thing I did today, tomorrow morning, or whenever this ice melts, and then I'll just go ahead. And what do you think? I should just make that the start of my 48-hour batch time, or should I wait until the second batch of ice is melted and then start the 48?
So, I mean,
Just because
I mean,
I'm
just
trying to
like
go through half
start
of the
it
shirt.
now. I mean, start it now because or roughly right now. So I don't know what time it is. Like for me, it's like 5 o'clock ish, right?
Yeah.
So, um, I know I have to flip it and all of that, but I'm not going to wait until tomorrow at 5 o'clock to then go 48 hours. Like that's not necessary. So what's
Okay.
today? Today is Saturday.
Yeah.
So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So either Monday night at 5 o'clock or Tuesday morning, I'm gonna rinse my shirt.
Okay.
I mean,
And,
don't
and
you
I'll and
think?
I'll do this. I'll do the same thing because I like a 48-hour batch time.
Yeah.
But since we're flipping it and starting and doing the process all over again, I just wanted your
Yeah.
opinion on when that 48-hour clock should start.
No, because since we are going 48 hours, 48 hours for the first place is not 100% necessary.
No.
So I
Uh-uh.
would just say it's anywhere between 24 to 48 hours is great. So if the backside is, only going to get like 30 hours or, whatever, 28, it's still going to be enough, I think. So, I mean, that's just how I do it. Like, 2 days from now, I'm gonna pull it, and depending upon
Uh,
if because I don't like to like start washing things out at the nighttime because I have a tendency to fall asleep, and
okay.
I want to make sure to wash it, dry it, have it hung up before bedtime. So
So in videos, you're saying hours after the ice melts.
yeah,
So at least 24 hours. It's not going to take 24 hours for your ice to melt. So okay, that makes sense.
so yeah, once the
At
ice
least 24
melts,
hours after the ice melts, we're going for 48. But I usually go 48 hours after the ice melts.
I mean,
That's what I do.
yeah,
And then when I go to do my rinse out, I start it with cold water and start rinsing that sucker out. And there's a lot of times that I don't even get to my hot water yet, and it's already running clear
yeah.
because I've let it batch for 48 hours plus the ice melt. So
So I
if
mean,
you have the patience and you can let that sucker go, let it, and it makes you're using less water.
yep.
It makes your rinse easier. You're not killing your back, um, you know,
The longer
and it looks good.
the better, for
Yeah,
sure.
you're getting the best saturation that you can get if you let it go.
So I'm just trying to think, like I said, I'm trying, just like, okay, right now it's Saturday at 5. Let's just say Saturday at 5 for me. Sunday at 5 is 24. Monday at 5 is 48 hours. Because 5 o'clock is too late for me, I'm not going to pull it until Tuesday morning. So
And
that
that's when I'll do
covers
too.
the whole after the ice melts, this, that, and whenever the soda ash and procyon dye reaction stopped, it falls in between Monday night and Tuesday morning. So that's how I do it. I mean, I don't actually literally count the hours. It's more like 2 days from now, it's done. So, and that's just me. You guys, you can pull yours at 24 hours if you want to. You can pull it even earlier and get lighter colors. Like,
Yeah,
if I'm going to go through all this work, I want to make sure that I have the maximum vibrancy as possible.
yeah,
And like Scott was saying, the rinse out is so much easier the longer you let it batch. It really is. Really is.
it is.
So things that I
There's
want.
some things you do, and it's just like, is this thing ever going to rinse out? Especially like the hoodies. Oh gosh.
Hoodies, blues, purples, reds. I mean, there are some colors that are just, they take forever. So we've already decided that our next project is going to be a heart because we were up in the air between each one. So things that I want you guys to think about between here and, a couple weeks from now is, what do you want to see us do? And if there are those of you out there that have a business you want to promote and have, a pattern or something that you want to share, reach out to me. Scott and I are doing this together because we really enjoy it. But, he would be gracious enough to take a week off and be a
Heck
viewer
yeah.
and let other people join in, if
It's fun. Uh, it's great. It's fun to do, and you really get put on the spot. So it's a completely different feeling folding a shirt with 150 or whatever, however many people are watching right now. The first ones we had, I know the first one we had like 130, 150 people watching a lot, but it was nerve wracking, and it's completely different folding a shirt in front of somebody,
yeah,
so.
but
It's
the thing I
fun,
want to
and
say
you
is
learn to get over that, and
don't
I
be
feel like I could
nervous.
go anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Sue wants to
wouldn't
know
you
about
say it's
hockey.
fun? Kelly's a good
She,
example of nerve. She didn't want to do it at all, but now she's like, right? You're cool, Kelly.
Yeah, I think I could do it now.
Sue wants to see my shiitake shirt,
Shiitake front.
the shiitake
Oh
scrunch.
yeah. So how did Scott's deep scrunch turn out from the last live? Yeah, we'll show it. Do you have it?
Hey, go to Rad Dice if you want to buy the shirt. I'll
Yeah,
sell it to you.
definitely. Yeah, good. 100%.
Um,
Um, I felt like we
here's
did.
the shiitake. Here's the shiitake scrunch
Didn't we
that I
show it
did.
though? I mean, I
No,
understand.
I showed you.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
yeah.
showed you one night.
I forgot. Yeah. Oh, that's right. So yeah, yes. Thank you. Show it because
Because you were like, no shiitake, and it was a big
yeah.
joke.
No,
And
no.
no, you didn't.
I
You're like,
do. I
no,
remember
no,
now.
do it. So I did 2 rounds. I went kind of light-handed the first round, and I didn't have a whole lot of this plummy looking color, browny plummy looking color, and it was mostly gray, like um, this gray flowery watery color look. So I did another round and did uh, the exact same process, dye over ice, and I got a little more gray. So you have to go kind of heavy-handed with this color. At least I do with dye over ice.
Yeah. I mean, that's how mine turn out. That's why. And Scott and I have talked about this, so he understands. There's nothing wrong with Scott's shirt at all, but it doesn't quite have flows and saturation that I'm used to, and so
Yeah.
my shirts turn out like that too. It's like big blobs of brown, and then like light colored mauvey gray splits, which is pretty. Um, but it's not a heavy saturator, and that's why I don't like to use it because I'm not getting the results that I see a lot of you get. So whoever's really great at shiitake and making beautiful, Scott, you understand. I'm not talking about Scott shirt. I'm talking about those of you that are able to create that marble look with shiitake. Please teach us because I can't figure it out. The color's terrible. I don't like it for me. So that's how it turned out, and I think the shirt turned out great. Let me clean off my table and I'll pull my shiitake. I was color swatching it out with the wiffle ball, so it's kind of ugly just because of the wiffle ball single color, but just to show you that shiitake, it does the same thing on mine too, like kind of like dark blobs of dark, and then a lot of empty space, and I want more color than that. And then here is shiitake also in a spiral, and so you can just see it's the same exact color out of the same exact dye jar, and very very different results. And my spiral actually looks a lot more like your scrunch, like the darkness of it. So I mean, it's a very very pretty color, but it isn't very easy to work with for me. So I struggle with it. So, if I have to work that hard
Somebody
for
said
one
their
color,
dog
I don't
makes
want to do
shiitake.
it. Huh?
Somebody said their dog makes shiitake.
Yes, it does. It looks like poop. I get it. Ha 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 ha. No, but it does. I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't see the hype in this color like other people are like, "Oh my god, it's the greatest color
Well, I'm sure it's a
ever."
great accenting color. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
for sure, for sure.
yeah,
I mean, up close, like in my spiral, like I think my spiral is beautiful. Like I love all the white space. I love
yes,
I love all the, it splits a lot like how powder pink, one of my favorite colors is. I love it. And as an accent color, yeah, gorgeous. But so far I can't get it to work. And then shiitake using hot water irrigation is beautiful. So you know what, Karen,
yeah,
we'll probably have to try something like that, because I've done a tight scrunch jacket. I've done the wiffle ball watercolor scrunch. I've done a spiral ice dye. I have not seen shiitake as a liquid ever. Well, no, that's not true. I made a liquid swatch. What am I talking about? Um, so maybe we should do here. Here it is. It was right on top. So here is shiitake as a liquid. It's just a very nice mauvey brown type color, which would look really beautiful with powder pink. Oh yeah, no, I love that shirt. That's so beautiful. Uh is that spicy plum?
dusty purple,
That's deep purple?
dusty
Oh,
purple.
dusty. Oh yeah, dusty purple from Prochem. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at all that lavender. I love that. That's so pretty.
Yeah,
Like it has the dark purple and then the dark green, but then the lavender in it. So beautiful. And kind of like an emerald green around the edges, like an emerald green and lime popish. It's like a really pretty Easter shirt, I think.
yeah. I showed my friend the floral dress I made. I showed him today, and he said it looked like something his grandma would wear.
I mean,
I
is that a
said,
compliment or a
get out of
diss?
here, dude.
Here's my dusty purple, a completely different application, but you can see the dark purples and the violets and the lavenders and the grays and the greens and the blues, and um, super pretty. It's a really pretty color, and it's from Prochem. Quite lovely. So, okay,
Yeah,
so let's talk about tomorrow. So after the ice melts, like I said, I'll have 2 rounds of ice on mine, and I'll have to wait for Scott's ice to melt, which usually is like noon, it seems like.
yeah,
Oh, look at that dress. That's spicy plum.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Look at that dress, you guys.
This is the dress that his grandma would wear, he said.
Oh, well, I would love to see a grandma wearing a t-shirt dress. You guys, the shirt is for sale. You guys go over and buy it. Like, look how beautiful that is. Like, oh my God. It's way, way, way too small for me, but it's so pretty. Yeah.
Well, I'm 45 years old, and technically I could be a grandma. So,
Well,
I mean, we got to look at it that way.
yeah. I mean, technically, yeah, we could be grandmas, but what I'm envisioning, like grandma, like 80.
Yeah.
And that's
my grandma.
That's what he would. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what he meant. I was
Not
I mean, yeah,
grandma.
this
My
grandma would
grandma.
wear it, but it's too small for me. But no, that's beautiful, and it's for sale. You guys go over and buy it. And Lila from Moon Dye, she said, after the ice melts, sounds like a fun podcast you need to make. That is a perfect name for a
Yeah.
tie dyers or an ice dyers podcast. After
Yeah,
the
that is
ice
great.
melts. No, that is great. I mean, I kind of feel like we're sort of podcasting right now in a way,
Uh-huh.
kind of.
Yeah, video podcast, huh?
Yeah. Well,
VOD.
Parker Cat, you never
Vodcast.
ask a lady what her age is, but what do you mean grandma age? Are you 90? Because that's what I'm thinking of, like grandma,
His grandma was, yeah, she's 90, 95, I think.
So Scotty said, I'm
His grandma,
60.
not grandma. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, yeah, his grandma. So we're all
yeah.
adults here. We're all for us right here that are engaged right now. We're all in our late 40s, mid to late 40s, early 50s, and so our grandmas are going to be in their 80s, 90s. Is what when we're saying grandma, we're not talking about 45-year-old grandmas. Scotty said,
Yeah.
I'm 60 and I'd wear it with my compression stockings. Yeah, Scotty. You would look so cute in that
You
dress.
would.
So, Teresa, okay,
I'll send
we
it.
probably need to get off the topic because I'm concerned that we're possibly offending people that are grandmas that
Yeah, that's
are
true. I mean,
and
yeah,
again,
we
I
got
look,
that.
I'm sorry. I'm really not. I am not trying to offend
I don't.
anybody or anything like that. I just because of my age, when I think of my grandma who's 94, I'm envisioning that. So I apologize. No, no, no. I'm just joking around. So, um, yes, grandmas in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I can't imagine my 94-year-old wearing a t-shirt dress walking around. Uh, I don't know. It just doesn't seem age appropriate for her little body. Yeah, Stanley, you're absolutely right. Grandmas are awesome no matter their age. So again, if I've offended anybody, I'm sorry. It's Scott's fault. Scott started it. Scott's friend started it. So we'll blame him.
I'm used to getting blamed, so that's all right.
No, I mean, we're not blaming you. We're blaming your friend. You bring him over
Yeah,
next
no,
time and we
he
can tell
said
him
it.
all about it.
He said it.
No. Yes, we all love tie dye no matter the age. I want to change the subject. I want to talk about something else. I think what we should do is wrap it up right here. So Scott, why don't you go ahead and tell people how they can find you and find your dyes and how they can buy your beautiful grandma dress?
I am on Facebook under my business page is Rad Dyes. I am a member of groups like tie dye, 1 hour tie dye, of course Belladonna tie dye community group. Um, but Rad Dyes on Facebook and Rad Dyes WV on Instagram, and the Belladonna Sell group. So that's all I'm really selling on right now.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of beautiful stuff. And like we touched on the topic, that he's able to make, special order dyes within, what he likes to make, so like meaning special order, like if you want a purple shirt, he can work in, that range and all of that. He's not going to
Yeah,
take special
yeah,
orders where you tell him how to do his work, but you can choose
yeah.
your colors, is what we're saying
Sure,
by
sure. And if
special
it's
order.
on, sometimes I'll just do. I'll throw shirts down and say like they need bodies, and put them on my business page. And if somebody buys it, it's I can always make it again. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
and
exactly.
make it for you in the colors that you like.
Right,
So
exactly. So if you see something on his business page that he's made before and it's gorgeous and you want that, he can make it for you. So you just reach out to him, I guess, via your, business page on Facebook or private message. Kelly also makes beautiful dyes, so you'll see Kelly's work. She loves, well, she loves to make sweatshirts. We've talked about this, but I mean, Kelly can make stuff too. You both have your very distinct style, and so they're available to hook you guys up with some awesome tie dye if you want it. Beautiful, beautiful work. So I think we had an awesome turnout, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Think about what you. Yes, Amanda, I am squirming. I got very uncomfortable quick, so I don't like that feeling. Um, we will tomorrow, when Scott's ice is melted, and we have no idea what time that is. It seems like around 11 or noon we've been able to come back for after the ice melts. And
mhm.
what we're going to be doing is flipping our work and, just going through what we're going to do. And so think about it, what you guys want to see coming up. For those of you that want to, maybe join, and be a guest, think,
Yeah, yeah,
um, you
absolutely.
know, we're in it for, like, it's a marathon, not a sprint type of a thing. So, I don't foresee stopping these lives until people don't want to watch anymore. So I would love for somebody to bring something that I've never done to the table, like a glitch or something like that. I would
Hmm.
love it if I think it's Margot and Patricia. Like, I would love for her to show me how to do her shibori. So for those of you that are friends with Margot Farnsworth, get her to reach out to me. And Patricia Otten, who makes those cool hemostats folds. I've never made one before. I would love it if she would come on here and show us how to do it. And it's just stuff like that, things that we don't usually see. Somebody who's like an expert at making center mandalas. I suck at those so bad. So, like, please come teach us how to make a mandala center. So I think we're going to wrap it up, you guys, because we're going to come back tomorrow morning. And I can't give you a heads up because I don't know what time. So, Scott, it depends on your
I'll
ice
have it
melting.
sitting by my heater, so
Yeah.
it probably won't be that late or that early. Really, I don't know.
Well,
I guess we'll see.
I mean, just, obviously reach out to me, let me know when, because
Hmm.
mine will be ready to go long before yours will. And so for
Yeah.
those of you that did tie along with us, get your project, bring it over. We'll talk about flipping it, how to add dye, what we're looking for and all of that stuff. Um, that's all we will be doing. We're not going to like tie up anything new. We'll do that next week. So I want to say thank you to everybody. It was totally awesome. And, I hope doing this on Saturday was better for a lot of you. I'm trying to accommodate as many people as possible. Let's see. Is there any last minute questions before we hang up?
I do.
Oh, what's your question? What's up?
What you got? What you got there?
Oh, on my table? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah. Oh, my sinew puller, and my tie dye tools. I can't find the little one. anyways, yeah, so boredomwithjen.com, sinew puller, and the pleating tools. And this particular sinew puller is the Belladonna, and 10% of your purchase goes back into the channel to keep the channel going. Jen and John have been so gracious to name a puller caddy set after my channel, which is like
That's so cool, man.
totally makes me fangirl out. Like, I mean, that's the
Look at
the
that.
most awesome thing ever to have
That's
like something
gorgeous.
named, for me. And then,
Yeah.
10% of the proceeds of the purchase go back to help bring content to you guys. And this is, I mean, it's so gorgeous because you guys know I love purple and green. This is actually purple and gold, but it looks like chartreuse to me. I want to imagine that it's
Yeah,
chartreuse.
it does.
And then
I like
these
it.
pleating tools, these are really great, especially if you have, like arthritis or, maybe an injury to your hand. They can really help get in there. And even if you don't have injuries, they're great, just great tools to have. So yeah, we love Jen and John, and there she is. Both of us need to check go check your mail. Kelly, run to your mail. Or yeah, since Scott's Kelly, run to your mailbox. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you. Amanda, I really do appreciate you. You help in the group by answering questions and keeping things going. And obviously for all of you that joined in tonight, you know how much I appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying this and having fun. I know I'm having a ton of fun. Are you having fun, Scott?
I'm having a blast. There's
Good.
times I don't want to leave, but I know we have to. You know what I mean?
Well, I know. I mean, how long have we been on? What time is it? So
I
it's
don't know. I'm not
it's
wearing my
all
watch right now.
so it's about 5:50 my time. So about almost 3 hours. And
8:50.
I know, I like
Yeah.
seriously, I could honestly grab another shirt and start like tying and dyeing. Like I could.
I will be, but it'll be privately, of course.
Oh my God, Amanda! It's 2 a.m. in the UK. Poor Amanda. Oh, you.
All I
you
got was a power bill.
All we got was the electric
oh
bill.
no.
Maybe tomorrow or something.
Okay. Well, tomorrow. Okay. What time does your mail come?
12 o'clock.
Okay, good. Okay, then maybe we'll wait till after your
Oh,
mail
tomorrow's
starts.
Sunday. The mail doesn't run.
And then
Oh
there's
no.
then
Okay.
a
Well,
holiday.
Then a holiday Monday.
what holiday is it going to be?
Martin Luther King, I think.
Martin
What
Luther King.
holiday is on Monday?
Martin Luther King Day, I think.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So great
Tuesday.
holiday. I didn't realize that. Okay. Lila says, I need motivation to out white bright stuff tonight. Ugh. Girl, I totally hear you. Like reverse dyeing. Kelly is great at reverse dyeing because her stuff is so beautiful, but it's hard because it needs to be kind of done outdoors in a ventilated area and not in the basement. But
Yeah.
I have some here, let me go grab it. I have stuff tied up. I have had these black items. This dress I tied up in the summertime. This side fanfold, and this spiral I tied up. The side fanfold I tied these up well over a year ago in this dress in summer, and I still haven't done the reverse dyeing. It's like I'm just dragging my feet because it's such a laborious project. You just gotta. There's so many steps, but the outcome is so amazing. So so we're gonna have to do a reverse dye one of these days. Maybe we will wait though until, well, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe we'll wait till spring when I can like open up all the windows and. But anyways, yeah. Well, Lila, I hope you can get your reverse dyes done. I feel you. I feel you. Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. Say, look at how beautiful that is. Now, is that the one you made or the one that Kelly made?
No, Kelly makes these. I've made one side fanfold reverse. That's all I've done. She
Okay.
does
Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, look at how
Yeah, he
gorgeous
does.
that is. Nothing beats a reverse dye. I mean, it just, that black accent makes the colors pop so much. I mean, it's so beautiful. Hey, do you guys know how you can tell the difference between a reverse dye and black dye when you're just looking at a photograph on
Oh,
Facebook or social media? Do you guys know how to do that? If you look at the stitching on a t-shirt, let's say, and if the stitching looks black, then it was a reverse dye. But if you look at a shirt and the stitching is white, they did it with black dye. That's just a quick little tip, because I know
mhm.
that I see a lot of people ask, like, when I say the big tie dyers, look, we're all big tie dyers, but like the guys, like the epic ones that make all those really precise folds, like Stephen J, Justin Biffer, Carl Borg, those really intricate patterns. I know a lot of you will ask questions like, is that a reverse die? And help yourself out so you don't have to ask the question. Look at the stitching on the shirt. I hope that helps some of you guys. Now, yeah, the stitching. See, Scott
Uh-huh.
was just, I'm 20 minutes behind, but he was just showing. Like, if you see all that white, it was black dye. No,
Yeah.
Kelly, that is absolutely beautiful. What colors did you use on that?
That's moose, black cherry, and azure blue.
I would have never thought to put those colors together in a million
No.
years. And
I think
look
she
at
just
that.
like reached behind her back and just grabbed three colors. And
Well, I love moose. I mean, everybody knows this.
Moose
Moose
is
is my
great.
jam. Um, so I don't know why I picked those, but I was just trying to do something completely different. And so this one is for sale, but I got a custom order for one in a different size. Um, so I made
Yeah.
it again. It turned out exactly the same. And I have another custom. I'm waiting on I have to wash out I got a different kind of sweatshirt. I'm going to try it on. Same pattern and colors. So I'll get to make it again.
It's
But
all
it
it's
turned out
almost
exactly
kind of
the same.
it's almost kind of like a pastel rainbow. And it's like, it's to me, because I'm like a rainbow fanatic. So it's like a one step off the rainbow. And I seriously, like, I would not have thought to put azure blue, moose, and what was the third color?
Black cherry.
Yeah, I
good
mean,
crap, man.
yeah, no, I mean, look at how gorgeous that is. The azure blue through that really pretty sort of like pastel blue, and then the black cherries giving off like the red vibe, and then the moose is what's giving all that like the lime pop chartreuse color in that. I mean, that is stunning. I love it.
She's
Reverse
good.
dyes are where it's at. I just wish they weren't so hard. They're not hard to do, but so many steps.
There are a
They
lot of steps to them.
My whole entire body hurts because that's all I've been doing for the last month.
Look at
Um,
that.
every
They're like
muscle, my body
they're
hurts.
well, yeah. I mean, because you're hunched over the table. I mean, look at all those color splits, and then like the little black nubs in between, like the pleats, look like little eyeballs or something.
and
I mean,
it even looks three-dimensional.
hey, where's
The
that one
shade,
shirt? Do
the
you have the
shading, perfect,
Do you
right
have
there.
that one shirt that, or the sweatshirt or whatever it was that had all the scream faces on it? Do you have that one available to show?
Oh yeah, yeah, the Frankenstein,
Oh my God.
or the Gemini.
You guys
Oh,
gotta see
yeah,
this.
it's mine though.
Oh, oh, oh. Well, I still
I
want to see it.
actually I forgot I made that for her, but it's not a reverse. Yeah,
Well,
it's not.
but still, you guys, you got to check this out. I mean, it's like the coolest thing ever, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, we could just sit here all night and just talk about tie dye forever. Like, I'm just like, ugh. But no, Scott sent me the picture of the shirt, and it's like, it is so like awesome,
All
and
right, so the
that hoodie is so beautiful, and it's available, you guys. What size is it?
XL.
extra
Yeah.
large.
So if you guys are interested in getting yourself a killer hoodie, go over to Rad Dyes on Facebook. They'll hook you up.
Oh, this I man, they didn't even.
Okay, here it is, you guys. Check this out.
They
Like,
need to start making these for men, is all I can say, man. They are the softest sweatshirt you've ever felt in your life. I
I
mean,
think a
it's like
man,
silk. It's so
but hey,
soft.
why couldn't a man wear it? Just because of the
The
size?
arm length. The arm length.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is an extra
No,
large.
that's just
This
a
is a
large.
large, and the sleeve length, that's 9.
I mean, look at
Uh,
that.
the sleeve length is only 14 inches long,
Yeah.
so it's hard for a man to.
Yeah.
My friend put one on. He's like, it fits, and then he kept tugging on the sleeves, and I was
Yeah.
like, no, it doesn't. All right, so here's the front,
Look at,
and
I
we
mean,
call this the Gemini sweatshirt because the back is completely different.
and that's moose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. It's like mint. You were saying, and I agree. Mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Yeah,
I mean, look, that is so gorgeous. And I'm on the 20-second delay, so if you
yeah. So
flip it,
it's about ready to flip now,
yeah, flip that over,
and
and
you can see the scream faces in it
so that is moose, is what that is,
right
Karen.
there. Here's the good one right here.
I mean, wait till he brings it up to the camera, you guys. I mean, because it's like so awesome, but when he shows you, it's like wow. I mean, it is so pretty.
So
And
the
this is why white space should not be feared, you guys. White space allows for cool things to happen. Now
So
look at
we
that.
didn't flip it. We didn't flip it and dye it on the other side like I'm going to do tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
we're both going to do tomorrow. So it was it's a thick sweatshirt, so the front and the back are completely different.
Yeah, he was
Look at
like,
that.
I can fix it. And I was like, don't you dare. I want it just exactly how it is.
Just moose, Karen. Yes, just moose. Okay, but okay, so he's not saying it. Do you guys see like the faces in the white area? There are faces like the scream mask. And remember, this was a zombie dye from Dharma Trading Company. So think, Halloween. And on accident, he achieved the scream mask melting off the shirt or the sweatshirt. It's like so cool. I love that thing. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like it's almost crying. And here's the
Yeah.
two eyes and the nose, and it's bleeding down, and it's crying.
And there's like four of
There's more of them here.
yeah. I mean,
I
no,
love it.
like
Good
there's a
happy
little
accident.
one and then a couple big ones. Yeah, I think that it's totally awesome. So moose is a super duper cool color, and I have a video on it where I did a scrunch, which just shows the color splits. And you can just see how in different applications how different the color will look. So it's a fun one.
Yeah.
No, I love
Moose
it.
splits. Moose splits pretty crazy too. She's getting a dress that she just made. Asked her if she'd grab it real fast
Oh
because
yeah, yeah. I want to see it.
the splits in this moose. I can see why moose is her favorite color.
Um,
Oh,
Lila says there's
one of her favorite.
a little puppy down by the bum. Let's see. I don't see it. A little puppy down by the bum.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, but that's just it with tie-dye. Like it's a Rorschach test. I mean, everybody sees something completely different. Hey, did you guys see that? Gosh, who made it? Oh, I wanted to remember. She made the double fan fold, and it looked like a caterpillar. We both commented on it, and I wish I could remember who posted it. It was like the coolest side fan fold, and she used like sage green and I don't know what else. You go look in Belladonna Dyes community tie dye group and find the like I'm calling it the caterpillar shirt. So awesome. But I saw a mushroom right in the center. Oh, look at that. Now that's moose. Absolutely gorgeous. Where are you getting these blanks, Kelly?
That's the one I was telling you about. This is what's
Well,
called a.
I know, but I want you to tell everybody else.
Okay, it's a ladies cover up. We get them from Jiffy. So if you just type in like women's or ladies cover up, they'll come up. It's just like a t-shirt dress. I love them. They dye great. I've washed them a million times. They hold up well. They're affordable. They're usually like $14. Sometimes they'll put them on sale for like 12. Um, so they're not
Yeah.
too expensive.
I mean, they are on the higher end of, I mean, they're not like $30, but you know, they're a little bit on the high end, but if you spend XYZ amount, they kind of start breaking down. But look at those color splits, all that um purples, lavenders, chartreuse green, lime pop green, some browns, magentas, and you know, talk about more bang for your buck. All of that out of just one dye jar. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
pretty.
know a lot of people do not like mousse, but I love it.
Yeah, I
Look
don't
at
get
that.
it. I think it's really,
Yeah, it looks.
I
It's
think it's
so
super
marvelous.
pretty. I know
I like the smell. I
Cheryl
even
is a
like the
big one.
specs.
Cheryl does not like the mousse, but you know, I think it depends on your application. Meaning, when I say application, I mean, is it a spiral? Is it a scrunch? Is it a gravity? Is it, you know, what, I think it depends on what you're making. Because yeah, I mean, I've seen some mousse projects that are really ugly, but you know, I think it just doesn't work with that particular fold. Yeah, look at all that. Look at those flows. Yeah, that's so
Look
pretty.
at that. Gee whiz, man. You did a good job on that.
Thanks. It was
Yeah,
a
you did beautiful.
literally threw it over a Tupperware, scrunched it, put some ice and mousse on it, and let it go, and that was it. It was like super easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Some of the
Thank you.
easiest folds get the best results, I think, with ice.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't have to have like hours of intricate. I mean, ice dyeing is just like
No.
super forgiving. It's almost like the more simple, the better, because you get more flows.
Yeah.
Um, Kathy, yes, thank you. It was Strawberry Skies and Herbaceous, that caterpillar shirt. You guys go
Yes.
go into
That
the group and
red gorgeous.
look. If you I wish I could remember um because my phone is in use in my iPad, so I can't quickly look. Credit where credit is due, because her shirt turned out, I should have wrote it down. Did I write it down? I thought I wrote it down. I wanted to point it out. I'll write it down, and then tomorrow I will send you guys her direction to see that. White space in projects can create amazing results, and so don't be afraid of white when you're doing ice dyeing. And then junglist hive, squishing bud or hash into rosin is kind of like one of those tests. Open the parchment paper and have rosin in some wicked design, sometimes almost ashamed to collect it. Yeah, I hear you, because like all the bubbles, and you know, it's like uh oh god, like amber, you know, it's the pretty amber color and all the bubbles, and yeah, totally 100%. So junglist, are you following Goyo's garden and tie dyes, because like you guys could be buddies for sure. um Okay. All right. So it's 10 after 6. We've been
Yeah,
at
it's
this for
getting a little
3
late.
hours. Let's
Yeah.
wrap it up. It's getting late, you guys. We're going to come back tomorrow. So make sure that you, before you get out of here, turn your bell to all and go into your device settings and turn on notifications, because when we randomly pop in when Scott's ice is melted, you'll get that notification so you can come back and see the back of our projects and what we're going to do next. That way you don't miss out on anything. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So good night, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, being here with us. I totally appreciate it. But more than that, I really just have fun doing this. And that's really what's important. So thank you, Scott. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you,
Thank,
Steph. I have a blast every time we do it.
Me too. Me too. So thank you. Good night, everybody. I'm going to turn this off, or else I'm going to start talking about more tie dye and we're never going to get off of here.
That's right.
All right. Good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too. Bye bye.